Nope, but I need candy.
Hey folks, it's me, John, JJB Tin Man, Views of NYC. Hey folks, it's me, John, JJB Tin Man, Views of NYC, Grand Central, and hey folks, it's me, John.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Onpassive. Folks, just got something to say. You see way off in the distance there, that's a big terrace mezzanine. Grand Central Station. You see that apple? See it up there? There it is. Apple. Hey folks. Hello. It's me. John. Here I am. Got some sun on my face there. Now, as long as you're looking at my face, you can't see what I want to show you. So let me get rid of my face. Oh, yeah. This is what I want to show you. Oh, no. But it's like, this one's a little bit odd. There's a big butcher knife down here on the corner.
Hi friends. How are you all? This is Satya Papu from India, proud brand ambassador of Onpassive. What Onpassive is and what Onpassive do.
So anyway, check this out, and I will speak to you later, because it's JJB, Tin Man, Views of NYC. Bye for now, on a really nice Saturday afternoon. Bye.
Karma's a bitch.
Hello, all of my fabulous, beautiful people, and how are you all doing tonight? I hope that you're doing great. Whew! Yes, I'm a little out of breath. I am late today because we had an issue arise in our place last night where my husband unclogged our toilet and apparently it leaked into the apartment downstairs. So they had to come and redo our toilets. And so that was going on all day. And I just was able to come on as of this moment because I had to clean up after they left. Yes. So I'm sorry for being late, but I am here now. Here we are. Hello, Kendall. Good to see you. We have Insolent Violet here. I hope you're having a great day. Alb says, how come John Barilla hasn't put in an appearance on the O Connect that's going on? Now, see, that's a good question. John Barilla is an interesting person because I know that a lot of you are going to be thinking that I am punching down because poor old John Barilla here only has 32 subscribers. And you see, usually I wouldn't cover someone with this little of subscribers, but we're talking about someone that's in Onpassive today. He joined YouTube on the 20th of February 2007. So, like, he is someone that's been on here for a very long time. And all of his videos are him kind of walking around New York, showing us the sights, if you will, or they're about Onpassive. He's really only been uploading like in the last year and a half or so. But the thing about John is that he's actually a very big player in Onpassive. He's been in it since about a year after it began. So it's about 4 years he's been in it now. And I know that because we're going to watch a clip of him on the Julian Milo show a year ago where he says he's been in it for 3 years. So add a year on to that, of course, and that makes 4. Look, I can math, guys. Are you proud of me? And he is kind of like the attack dog of the group, if you will. So whenever you say something mean about Onpassive, which could even just be, I don't trust Ash Mufara, which isn't really mean, but to them it's a big no-no. Don't say that. John is the one who will show up in your comment section and go off. And you see, ever since it came out that the S.E.C is going after Onpassive and suing them for $108 million US, John's been very, very mad at me. And that's because I gloated about it a whole bunch. And then I went on to the webinar, and Ash and I had some words. And after that, John got very, very upset with me. And he came to my comment section under the couple videos that I'd done on both the S.E.C and then also the clip I did of me on Ashes, where I kind of, talked about it a little bit. And he got very, very angry, and then he blocked me so that I couldn't respond to him anymore. But then he took to going to all of your guys' comments and getting into arguments with all of you. And he's been doing this for 2 years, by the way. Okay, this isn't like just new for him in the last week. It's just he and I used to go back and forth a little bit. Nothing too serious, he would just come in and say his usual, Onpassive is so great, you'll see, you're so wrong about us, and we're going to prove you wrong, I'm in it to win it, that kind of thing. And then you just kind of go, oh yeah, sure, John, whatever you say. He's kind of like a little kid. You pat him on the head, and you go, oh, John, you're so cute. That's so cute of you. And then you, go on with your day. So that's kind of what I would do. And then he would, of course, come back again the next time, and then come back again and come back again. But this week he's been extremely upset with me, and he's been kind of rude, hasn't he? I feel like he's been rude to people in my comment sections. I think that this stuff is getting to him. So I was like, oh, John, you've been trying to get my attention for a very long time, so I'm going to give you my attention, and we're going to take a look at John Barilla today and what he's all about as a person, because John's very interesting. You see, guys, John is not just a guy that sells Onpassive. No. John is actually also a famous actor. Yes, he is. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into it. Don't you worry. So, I thought that we would be reacting to a couple of his things today. And then in my research, I realized he's more active than I thought he was. Maybe not on his own channel, but he has made some appearances on the Rob Lynn show, on the Julian Milo show, and he's pretty active in the Onpassive area in the ONet and whatnot. So we're going to be looking at all of that today and talking about John Barilla, my new favorite actor. Insolent Violet says this one will get more attention aimed at him, and I hope he likes it. The war with Onpassive continues. Yes, I am hoping we are nearing the end, but maybe not. We'll probably be here a while. Everyone say hello to each other. Awesome, awesome. 108 mil, that's a spicy meatball. It is. And they put that it was a pyramid scheme under the fact section, which I adored. Because they were like, these are the facts of this case. Number one, Onpassive is a pyramid scheme. I was like, yes, it's under facts. I feel like now that gives me permission to say it as fact. But as you guys saw, Ash does not agree with me. Neither does anyone else. Gersminder is very upset about it. Charles Osong does not agree. So, unfortunately, it's only me that thinks that maybe. Hello, Joe. I hope that you are having a great day at work, and that your day at work today is nothing like your day at work was the other day. Because you had a rough day the other day with the machines and stuff, and we just don't need two of those in a row. Is this his submission to the weirdest old guy at NYC contest or something? It might be. He might come pretty close, as you will see. John is an actor. John is a photographer. John is a man of many, many hats, if you will. So, he's out there. And as stated, he's always the first one ready to throw hands and come on in and say, listen, guys, Onpassive is great. Ash is great. He's going to do everything for us. And so because of that, I thought he definitely needed more attention. But before we get into that, I need to bitch for a minute. I've been here for 2 seconds and I need to bitch for a minute. I need to bitch for a moment because this is the ugliest thing that I have ever seen. What is this? What? Why do I feel like I just crawled inside a watermelon? What is happening? This is their website right now. This is their website, okay? This is what it looks like. They change their website at least once a week, but I think it's more than that. I haven't really been keeping track of how often it's changed. All I know is every fucking time I come on here, it's different. And I'm like, why? And is it just me or is it getting uglier? I feel like it's getting uglier. And the thing is, we kind of talked about this when they first announced they were doing this because we were like, there's only so many that you can do. You get what I'm saying? Like after a while, like you kind of start running out of color schemes and areas where you could put things. That sounded bad. Ash, please don't put your things in anyone's areas. But like there's only so much formatting you can do with a website and so many like color schemes you can go with and whatnot. So if they're going to continuously do this and they plan on being a legit company one day for 50 plus years or something, like this isn't going to last very long. But I do have to say, out of all of them, and I know I say this every time, but I am legit serious when I say this one's the ugliest one to me. Like, take back all the other times I said that. They don't mean anything now. This is the bad one. Like, it's all like blurry. Like, I am not making it blurry. It is supposed to be blurry. And that's what bothers me. All right, it's giving me a headache. I need to get it off my screen. I saw that and I was like, oh, no, no, why? Like Joe says, no, just no. See, it's lit violet. She doesn't like it either. It should be violet instead, and then maybe we would like it more. I'm just saying. I think that they did do like almost every single color scheme though by now. They've gotten to about almost every single color scheme because like I said, like you could only do so many. You got like fonts and stuff on there. Things are like moving around all the time. I'm like, just stop it, but they're never gonna stop unless the S.E.C. Stops them, which is what we are hoping for. So let's get right into John. I've compiled some fun for us today, if you will.
Is here. All you need to do is look into your heart. He's here.
So this is a comment that he left me after he like told me off a bunch, and then he blocked me as I was reading this comment. I I got the screenshot. This is kind of funny. I got the screenshot. I went to hit reply and then nothing happened. And I was like, what's going on? And then when I looked at it again, the reply was gone. And I was like, whoa. And I thought it was a YouTube glitch because YouTube's been glitchy. If you guys are in live streams right now and you go to type something, you might be getting errors. Hello, Stricardo. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Right now, I don't know what YouTube's doing, but they're like fixing shit or making new things, adding stuff in, and it's like messing with everybody's damn live streams. So I thought that maybe that was what was going on. And then so I refreshed it. And then all of his comments disappeared. And then I realized it was because he blocked me. So I couldn't reply. But this was under obviously the video about the S.E.C. where he says there will be a trial and we all deserve it. And all we deserve is respect. You will see. Again, respect is earned, not just given, John. Yes, please subscribe to Onpassive Review. I have this is the top comment right here. They're just Onpassive Review 42. If you at that, subscribe to them. They grabbed this amazing clip of John Barilla that we're going to be watching right here.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it's like
that's one way that
updating.
Onpassive has definitely already changed my life. I would just say, what's ahead for how much my life changes, I'm not actually sure. But
I
I'm
promise the
somebody
sound
that,
gets better.
after listening to Mario today too, I'm thinking I'm somebody that when I came into Onpassive, I didn't have a general view of how it would change my life, or even exactly what Onpassive was really about, or the vision of Ash at the very first, because I was in over a dozen other, I'm going to say, we're not an MLM, but a dozen other MLMs or other internet businesses, and it was just another one of those that I'm trying to keep up with and check out and see if there's anything about. I didn't even have a clue whether it would change my life or whether I even cared how much I was going to pay attention to it, because I was giving it a lot of attention, technically the same way I was every other business, trying to figure out what am I doing? Why can't I do 15 or so businesses when I don't know anything from all of that? So, but at some point, I did pay more attention to Onpassive than anything else. And I not only plugged into the vision, but I became so interested that I got very involved. And even I think beyond whatever this commissioner thing is, or the chat police, that's something that happened because I knew that I wanted to be active and involved in what this was all about. And so I figured, I have a small team, and they don't even talk to me.
Ricardo says JB, John Barilla, who's the gentleman we're reacting to right now, was nominated for an Oscar in the living prosthetic category. Yeah, I wonder if he put his acting job aside for Onpassive, and that's kind of what he's talking about. Because you guys are going to hear him today talking about how he acts. You're going to hear him talk about how he writes, how he directs, how he does photography. And all of these would be almost like businesses for him. So when he says he put aside everything else he was doing for Onpassive, I feel like he really does mean he put away like his acting career, his photography career, everything for Onpassive.
And I have a sponsor who isn't even involved and doesn't think this is ever going to launch. And I'm like, where am I? I'm lost, and I'm starting to really believe in this. Well, what I decided was everyone in Onpassive is on my team. And the way I went about getting active and involved in this was to just start getting engaged with people in Onpassive. And speaking of coaching people, I'm certainly somebody that I never thought I would be helping other founders to
Oh, we'll get to that, Alps.
understand and to help them get involved with the vision and all of that. So I'm definitely there. And beyond that, just to simply put this, how is it going to change? How has it changed my life, or going to change my life? Well, I was in all.
He literally talks this much. Wait, when he's on the Julian Milo show, it gets to the point where they have to actually like cut him off and be like, "Yo, listen, John, we have to get through this. Like, we're running out of time." Like, he just goes. He's like another Ash.
They're all gone, but I'm still in Onpassive because one of the basic, simplest things is, I'm an older guy who's an actor, haven't made very much in my life.
Do not drink every time that John mentions in these that he is an actor. You will die. He is that stereotypical dude that is like, I'm an actor, I'm an actor, I'm an actor, like everywhere he goes, trying to use it, okay?
I consider myself successful only because I'm still doing it and I do it.
But a lot of people look at me as someone who's not a successful actor, and we don't make that much money. And I'm thinking to myself, where am I going at 74 years old, which I'll be in about a week or so, 74 years old, and what am I going to do? And am I able to pay my bills anymore? Well, to be honest with you, with my Social Security, and I actually have a pension coming in from one of my unions, in my acting unions, I can't pay my bills. And all of my,
Yeah, I know it's not anymore, but he was on it a whole bunch. I've never reacted to John before. So we're doing everything John. Everything that he's done.
survival jobs and situations, they're all gone. Mostly because of COVID and other reasons. But I'm sitting here realizing that this is the thing that's just simply going to help me survive and pay my bills. And then beyond that, I'm very happy that it's Onpassive that will be doing that, because I'm going to be able.
So you heard that correctly. John Barilla is in Onpassive because he is elderly. So his careers are kind of fizzing out. He didn't really have much to begin with, and we'll get to that. Don't worry. In the second portion of this, we're going to be going through his IMDb and all of his acting stuff. Don't worry. Don't worry, I got you. And so he is literally saying, like, Onpassive is his retirement plan. He is hoping that Onpassive is going to make him enough money that he can get by now off of just Onpassive. Right? It's kind of sad when you think about it.
To see how much it will change my life in all of the other ways, the humanity way, all that kind of thing that I wasn't that concerned or even aware of for a while when I first got into this. I don't know if that adds to exactly what we're saying today, but I'm one of those people that is very involved in Onpassive in a very engaged and active way, and I'm really happy about it. The only thing is, though, I'm an old guy. I'm starting to really feel that the pressure of like, oh my goodness, I'm spending how many hours a day? I'm doing.
See, there's times where I'm like, okay, John, if you're having moments like that, shouldn't you know that maybe it's not going to work out and not put all of your eggs in this Onpassive basket at all?
I'm doing it, and I'm liking it, and I love
Chicago.
everybody that I'm meeting, especially those that I'm getting to communicate with personally. Oh, it's incredible. The friendship all over the world, all that. It's incredible. That's all I got.
Quick, one more time on
Yes.
another chat. Here's
Yes.
Emily Kamani. I love the quote our CEO gives us that says, I can't change the whole world, but I can change somebody's life. I look forward to when I will change somebody's life positively through Onpassive. Thank you, Mr. Ash. And there's a lot of those type of sayings on this particular chat. So I know we don't have time to go through all of them, but that's just one that's really nice from someone I've never even heard of.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is Tiana Pangan. I think Lynn knows her. I blow my tears. It changed my life. Look forward for Onpassive. Be blessed successfully. So amazing. It change everyone's life. Yes, boom. Onpassive is beautiful.
How is it changing everyone's life, John? Just the fact that he can read out these comments, like, honestly, when I read out those comments that people write like that, it makes me want to scream. Because I'm like, nobody's made 1 cent. What is it doing to change your life? The only thing that this company, and I say that word loosely, company, it's always in quotations when I'm saying that we're talking about this thing. The only thing it's done is given you a sense of community. That's it. That's literally it. It hasn't done anything else for anyone other than give them a headache and take up all of their time and make them wait.
That got me.
Yeah, that got me too. Just in a different way, John. Got you because you were like, oh, wow, so many vulnerable people that we can scam with this thing. It got me because I was like, damn, man. It's so sad that you're all manipulating people into actually thinking like this.
Tiana, that's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think we're winding down on time, Lynn.
All right, so that time John went on Roblin's Live with Andy Burks. I'm going to mess this up. I'm sorry. Martian Hima Bo. Boom, baby.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you, Rob Lynn, and thank you, Lynn, for inviting me. Hello,
Oh,
Annie.
sorry, guys. He like popped up there and it just kind of took me aback. I was like, ah. Ken says, when the SEC is after the company you work for, it might be a time to look for another job. Maybe, right? Maybe a good time. Alp says, I mean, he is surprisingly spry and lucid for 75. He is. I mean, he is in better shape than a lot of people that I know who are his age. But he's also probably going to rand among the NYC homeless before too long. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is that Chris Johnson, as you know, has been reaching out to homeless people. One of the homeless people he reached out to was recently back on one of their webinars, right? As you guys know. And so it wouldn't surprise me because Chris is telling everybody else to as well. So honestly, Alps, it wouldn't surprise me if he already is. Like going up to homeless people and trying to get them to join this. That's what they're told to do, which is gross, right? I mean, so if Chris Johnson's doing that and promoting other people do that, I wouldn't be surprised if John was already doing that. Ricardo says, what I really don't understand is how people like John believe the whole scam. They can see Omail and ONet and that nobody uses them but still keep the faith. It's kind of like this cognitive dissonance that happens when you fall so deep into something like this that any proof that it's not going to work becomes very easy to ignore. And you almost excuse it in your own mind. Like the excuses that they give to all of us and their founders is the same ones that they're telling themselves in their head every night over and over again. They're convincing themselves too as they're doing that. Right? And it is very strange. It's the hold that something like this can have on a person is really the same hold as though you're in like Scientology, although you're in a fucking cult at a compound. You can literally be that controlled. Like some of these people, as you know, they wake up, first thing they do is go watch a webinar. Then they just, next webinar is like an hour after that one. And then an hour after that, there's another one. That's literally all they do all day is get brainwashed. And some of them, even if they wake up, they almost get scared. And this is why I say, like, for family members not to let them cut ties, no matter what kind of cult they're in, whether it's a religious or a commercial, because this is a commercial cult. Is like make sure you keep telling that person like you're there for them, you support them, and it's okay for them to have made this mistake because they get very embarrassed and get very shameful and don't want to almost admit. And if they don't have any support when they say, shit, I fucked up, I was in this cult, I was in this scam, what do I do? Then they might not come out of it, right? They need to have outside support as well. So for someone that doesn't have much, like John Barilla, right? He is single. He's never been married. He doesn't have any children. The only like friends he has, let's face it, are probably the people in Onpassive and maybe some like theater friends or something that he might have. Because I do know that he does dabble in theater a little bit. Just nothing big. Just your local little theater club. You know, like he's not doing like Broadway or anything like that in New York. But he has a little group of friends with that. And then that's it. So it would be very easy for someone like him, especially, to like fall into this and then have a harder time kind of being pulled back out. Whereas if you have family and that around you and other people to kind of hold you accountable and check you, then you honestly have a better chance of getting out of something like this. And that's why it's so hard for people whose whole families grow up in cults, right? Because it's like they really are alone if they leave. And it's weird to think that you're on the internet. So a lot of people go, oh, well, how could someone control your mind when you're on the internet? But this all runs on a group setting at almost all times. Almost all times these guys are in like this group setting. They have a very large group mentality, very big group belief system, and it's been very much imprinted into each and every one of them. Especially, unfortunately, those that have been in it for like 4 years, like John. He's like deep in, and it sucks, but it's like, meh, what can you do? Because the more you try to show them the truth, the more they kind of get defensive, which is what you guys were trying to do with John in my comment section recently. You guys were kind of trying to explain to him, like, look, the S.E.C said this stuff. Like, you might want to get out, John. And he's going, no, it's a lie. We're going to win, blah, blah, blah. And then blocked me so I couldn't read any of the comments because he's a pussy.
Good morning to you. And John Barilla, I am happy to be here.
Hi. I think I have to leave to go to Messenger to get the background up.
Okay, well, you don't
Well,
have
you can always come back, and you don't.
Yeah,
have
how can I get off without shutting myself off just to go into another tab?
You just have to click on your I think you click on your buttons, right?
Well, I could always just come back in if I get knocked off. Let's see here.
While you're watching this part, I want you to remember that these people are running an AI ML technology company.
We're still waiting for Tony to come anyway.
Yeah.
Tony will be here. It's no problem.
I could leave and come back really quickly. I have to download the image from the messenger that's on my phone.
Okay. Okay.
I'll leave and come back.
Okay. All righty. And I think Marty may be joining us as well. Maybe.
Arlene, I just wanted to say,
Queen, could you rate the leaders as to who you think is the most diluted? My choice would be Con Woman Cornhole for the top spot. Who's Con Woman Cornhole? Who is that? The most diluted, we have Sherry That Shares, I think is the most diluted out of the whole company. And honestly, John Barilla is up there. I would have to say, though, that one of the most diluted people is... I'm trying to decide it, because I don't think that Mike Ellis is necessarily diluted. He's like one of the more hardcore ones that promote it and that look like they're in charge, but I feel like he knows it's a scam and then is just doing it anyway. Like, he really does come off as that to me. I don't really feel like Red's diluted, but I do feel like Gersminder, Charles Osong, Mike Aim Williams there. Those guys are all pretty diluted. Like, I think they actually really believe in it. Marty, of course, I think he believes in it. Chris, I think, might be diluted too. I think he's a full believer. I hope he's a full believer too. Oh, comfort. Confer. Oh, yes. I've only seen that person a couple times. So I think that's why I didn't catch on. Also, and so I don't really know much about them. And yeah, Albs, I do think that Ellis knows. He tends to disappear sometimes when shit's about to go down, you'll notice. He'll kind of like back out a little bit, And you'll kind of be like, where'd Mike Ellis go? And then something will pop off, and then you'll be like, And then he comes back when the smoke clears, I pay attention to him because he's one of the funnier ones when he does go off. But I do strongly believe that Sherry that shares is the most diluted out of everyone in the whole company because she's a little loony, so she just is kind of diluted. But also, she really believes everything. Sherry's a little diluted. And sometimes I wonder, though, if she's just doing it because she has a crush on Ash. I swear to God, she has a crush on Ash. Has to be.
Till next time, John Barilla doesn't have to go and come back because all the image is going to be downloaded directly from his screen. That's Oconet for sure.
Yay! Okay. A lot easier, huh?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And Andy, as Andy knows, we did try to hook up today, do a little test, and I don't think it was quite ready yet, but it seems to be ready now. Andy, what do you think?
I haven't tried again, to be honest, Rob. I'm going to have a play with it tomorrow during the day when I eventually get up. So hopefully we can have a test tomorrow afternoon and have a play around. That'd be good.
It's the weirdest testing process for anything ever in the history of the whole world. Like, no one's ever seen anything like this. If you were to sit down with somebody who does business in any form and explain to them how, like, the testing for these products went, they almost wouldn't believe you. Like, they would be like, nope, nobody would do that with their company. Like, I literally have had a conversation with people about Onpassive like that, where they're like, no, they wouldn't do that if they're running a company, would they? And you're like, yeah. Yeah, like they're just testing them now with the customers. This is very strange. And they all come on there and talk about it and how it doesn't work. You know, they got to smooth out those wrinkles.
For sure.
That should be good.
There'll be a lot of practice sessions going on worldwide. We all
I
want
bet, yeah. Yeah, we all want to have a go.
That, since we're
Yeah,
linking up with the
he
world
seems more
and now it's
skeptical than the
showtime
rest.
when we are linking up with the world, we do need that 14 days to practice, I feel.
Oops.
Because clicking around on it today while we were able to get on it.
See, and that's the thing, Alves. It's like, I wish more people would think like that, because that's the whole thing with Ash, right? Is that he's run others. He's been a part of other pyramid schemes, and then he's already had a company shut down. So it's like, come on, guys. If the guy's already been in companies that have been shut down for this and has already had his own that's been shut down for this, why would this one be any different? Like, history repeats itself. That's a problem, but it's just the truth. So it's not like this one would finally be the one that he does right. But he somehow has convinced all these people that exact thing. And the way that MLMs are the only fucking business where the person in charge could literally sit there and be like, I've been scammed my whole life. I'm awful with finances. You should never trust me with money. Oh, but now follow me and I'll teach you how to get rich. And people would be like, okay. Like, you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's like he'll literally sit there and be like, I've been scammed for 20 years and these things. And then I was in this thing and it ended up being a pyramid scheme. And then my company got shut down and it ended up being bad. But, you know, this one here, this is going to be the legit one. And everyone will like do that stupid seal clap that they do. And you're like sometimes I have to pinch myself. I'm like, I'm not dreaming, right? Like he just told them all that he sucks and they're still clapping. Like, okay, Ash, all hail Ash. It's so weird.
Some of it didn't make a whole lot of sense, and but
A lot
now
of
it
it doesn't make
does,
sense.
and it's a good thing. So 14 days is a good thing for us.
It is indeed. I've got so many.
Note how long it is taking John to get back. There's a reason why he kept us in, even though he left for a little while. But that's because I'm trying to also showcase just how little everyone here knows about technology. So it's like, why would you be fighting hard for something that you barely understand? You know? Like, come on, guys.
People I want to send it to.
Oh, they're gonna love it, man.
Isn't it nice to do
everybody's here for the
something,
dog.
Marcianne, where you're having fun? Not just dance, but you're having fun.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've been doing since this around
Yay!
1 p.m. our own time, when I finally went to my back office and I see that I have a great toy to play with, one of the biggest toy of the world, a toy that not only adult, even youngest one, everybody is allowed to use.
Guys, everyone that works for this thing is probably one of those guys that used to work in a call center and call you at dinner time to sell you some bullshit. I can almost guarantee it.
You know, very interesting. And I mean, being back there, there's so, and every time you touch something,
Oh,
it's just like wow. Every time you touch it, it's
he's back. Oh my god, it scared me. Sorry.
just like wow. It's getting
That's what I said, girl. I was like, wow, he's here again. Ah,
better and better and better, and it's so amazing. It's really
I
great. It's
better.
good to play with it. If you have not done it yet, we asking everybody to try it. It's very, very good.
And as Ash has said, and John, you can verify this.
Yes.
Why is he the only one that doesn't have a background up right now? It's bothering me. It actually really is bothering me. Like, they'll have the Roblin live, and then like he's just there with his house, and I'm like, stop this! Put your background up.
Today is the worst it's ever going to be.
You're breaking
It's
the
only
rules.
I
gonna
hope so. It's going to be great for everybody, but for me right now, how do I put I got the background downloaded on my phone here now, but how do I get to it while I'm on the
Oh.
StreamYard? I don't see a choice to go to background.
Yeah, you gotta go to brand. You gotta go to brand. You gotta scroll down a little bit to where you see overlay. Are they gonna tell him that? Let's see. Tech geniuses, everybody.
You have to click on settings.
I clicked on settings and I got
Yeah, but
like
you have to do it before you enter
No,
the
it's
studio.
brand. No,
oh
you
well,
don't.
maybe we'll just leave my what I have on here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Maybe if you're a guest, you do. Yeah. I don't remember right now if you get that option if you're a guest. Oh well. That's why they're making O Connect, you see.
And Chris,
Otherwise, I'd have to leave again and go do that. Forgive me. I don't know what I am. Just the last couple of days, I've been so busy. I'm making my audio recording, of course, and I'm just everything. I'm just discombobulated. I thought, now I can relax and go to Roblin Live tonight, and I'm like, I'm crazy. I don't know what's going on here. I'll try and calm down a little bit.
Crazy, guys.
I watched.
Yeah, can you please calm down? Jeez. He's all uppity. All combobulated, as he said.
Told me last night, take a breath. Take a breath.
There you go. I'm taking a breath.
Breathe out. You'll feel much better.
I feel fine. I'm just
He does not take a breath, by the way. Spoiler.
nuts. Oh. I'm really happy about, I'm really happy about O Connect though. I do have it all downloaded, ready to go, and I actually did get to Chris's little thing he was doing there, but I had to get out of there because I had to come back here, so I never really did much. But it was I said I can't wait to get in here and mess around for a while,
Right. Well, they were running out of time. They
right.
He heard you get 90 minutes, Andy, and they were up at 67 minutes, I guess, when I was looking at it. So
I actually heard that. I was there listening.
Yeah, they were about to wrap up. But
yeah,
let's get back to our subject, which is
all right.
the world and how Onpassive's doing it. It seems like everything we're touching has got something to do with pulling humanity up and pulling people together. What do you think there, Andy?
This is a great subject because at the end of the day, Ash has created already,
on the spot.
He's
on the spot
a
now.
million followers.
Oh
no! And these followers will
Andy.
very shortly, or over a period of time, be able to fill their tanks and have this surplus. And this surplus enables us to change communities, and by changing communities.
All right, Joe, listen, just because I'm torturing you all with all of this, all right, in a few days we'll react to Sherry. I adore Sherry.
communities, you start to change the world because every single one of us is a different community. So
Not really, is it? Well, I guess once you create your like business plan and your commission and you understand like or you understand, okay, that don't know where I was going with that word. And you like start to build your teams, you have your commission, and then you each do actually start to build a little community, I guess. But could you say that now? Cuz here's my like confusion. When this thing opened, they stated everyone was going to be on the same level. But then they keep talking about how people are going to be underneath people and how people are going to be automatically put like based on when you signed up and all this. So are they building teams or is everyone on the same level? Because it can't be both. And it's like if you're building teams, then you are a MLM. And they keep saying they're not an MLM. They're a real business. Real business, real people, real piece of work is what it is. So I'm always kind of confused because now here we have Andy going on about how they're building their own communities, which I'm assuming would mean that they're signing up distributors underneath each one of them. Whoever they sign up goes under them, right? But then they're all on the same level, right? And this is why they need to fucking actually come up with this and like say, this is the plan, this is how it's going to go. And they haven't yet. But go
if
on.
we all lift one community, you're lifting the whole of humanity. It's incredible.
And as Ash has said, I can't help everybody all at once, but I can certainly help somebody every day.
Yes, they do.
What do you say
Absolutely.
to that, Marcian? Isn't that a good feeling?
Yeah, he is.
As in, yes, all MLMs say that they're not MLMs. Not yes, they do help someone every day because these guys haven't helped one fucking person.
And started by helping one person at a time. We are helping the whole world. And I think that's the idea that's one of the things that Ash think about bringing this Onpassive to the whole world. Remember in the beginning, he said he wanted to create in every household a Mother Teresa. That Mother Teresa have a heart, but she didn't have a lot of money to do whatever she have to do around the world. And
so basically, Ash said he wanted to create Mother Teresa's, and you took that as she didn't have a lot of money, but she helped people. So he basically told you he was going to take all your money, but at least give you the ability to help people. And you were like, "Oh, cool, financial freedom." Is that what I'm fucking hearing right now? Is that what just happened? Thank you, Joe, for becoming a member for 28 months. Damn. That's nuts.
he knew that if you have that and
But I
you
love
have that
you.
heart and you have a way. So he created one person at a time. So imagine
See, like, and then she goes on, he has a heart, but he didn't have a way. He didn't have money either. So then he stole all your money, and then him and his wife went to the spa and salon.
every side, every part of the world, all of us, we have to at least add one person to ourselves, and that one person have to add one person. The other one person have to add one person. The whole world are going to be.
No, she's just like Italian people, like myself. We have to talk with our hands.
Different. We will not be having the problem we have today, and that's how we are uplifting humanity with our product, with the quality of our products, like the one we are started today to make our 14-day trial. And I believe that then tomorrow or after tomorrow being a Roblin show, John Barilla will not have any problem uploading his image behind him, because
Ooh, this didn't age very well, because guess what? They're still on the Zoom and the StreamYard.
we are going big and bigger.
We're going huge. We're going Oak-Connect. We're going worldwide. Look out.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And what we'll do now is show the background, because otherwise I know we're going to forget. So pardon me, us, you'll still be on. We're just going to focus on the background. Stay where you guys are.
I think we had our first guest, which we had to disqualify because A, it was wrong, and B, it was 3 hours before the show started. So That's it, Andy. Disqualified.
That's weird.
You.
Honey, okay.
All the arse kissing he does of Ash, thanking him for this scam. That was pretty much the end of John Barilla on there. By the way, I wasn't going to make you guys all watch the whole thing. We're just going after John today. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for the 10 pounds. I think that's pounds, right? Euros, pounds? I don't know. Sorry. But I appreciate it, whatever it is. He does a lot of this.
I'm excited. Got a new invitee today and just messaged her from here to encourage her to join me or instead our team. Onpassive, what a great business. Thanks, Ash.
Is it weird? It's 10 quid. I'll say quid from now on then. Isn't it weird though to do a thank you with an AI voice? Is that not weird? I think it's weird. It doesn't seem genuine to me. This is a commercial.
I'm excited. Got a new invitee today and just messaged her from here to encourage her to join me or instead our team. Onpassive, what a great business. Thanks, Ash.
It's just so blah. When John went to Dubai, Biggie stole someone's video that went there though. Hurrah! The scammers go marching 2 by 2. Hurrah! Hurrah! The scammers go marching 2 by 2, and none of us know what to do. They all go marching down to Dubai to embark all the people. Yeah, by the way, if you didn't catch it, he is in Dubai. We're going through the Burj Khalifa, and this was how they proved that they had the office space. Right now we are in the lobby. I don't know what that proves, but proves that the Burj Khalifa exists and it had a lobby, which is not what we were wondering. So thanks, but doesn't prove much. Scammers go marching 4 by 4, and we wish they would just go out the door, and they all go marching. And there is the Onpassive marketing campaign that they were doing. So of course we're gonna see that. Yeah, allegedly they have an ice rink in the mall, which is all I can think about when they show this part of the video. Is I'm like, man, I want to go skating. That's cool. Look, guys, more Onpassive marketing. That's cool and everything, but again, you were supposed to show us the offices. At this time, they had claimed to be running 2 floors. Ash announced that he had bought floor 134 and 151, both of them. 2 separate floors. They're not on the same floor, 2 separate floors. And then, when he put the address on the website, it only has floor 134. 151 has literally just vamoosed, disappeared. So we have started a campaign, and it is hashtag save floor 151 because I don't know where it went, and I'm very worried because I don't know how floor 152 is sitting on 150, okay? We need some help. It'll be the swimming pool. That'd be cool too, though, right? I mean, I can't go swimming at my mall, so there's that. If I was in Edmonton, I probably could. The Edmonton mall's crazy. Here in Ottawa, they suck. There's normal malls. I think it's funny to see the marketing because it's always like for all of your digital needs, we're so in it to win it, blah, blah, blah. And like, they're not fucking doing anything. They're like, what are you winning? What are we in? There it is. That shit's cool. When John went to the metro station, not the Onpassive station, though. Do founders really not put two and two together? That was bought with their money. The marketing and the floor would have been bought with their money, yes. Now, Ash told them that he was spending their money on the marketing campaign. Then he took it back and said he didn't need to spend any of their money on the marketing campaign when we were kind of calling him out, saying that it's ridiculous for him to spend all of his money on that. Because, like, who markets a fucking company that doesn't even have a product for sale yet? Like, it's ridiculous, right? So we were like, what are you doing? Like, what are you even marketing for? Have some stuff out and then market, for Christ's sake. Like, people are going to come there and then there'll be nothing there. Like, at this point, when this began, the OES wasn't even actually set up yet. So there literally was nothing for them to do other than go to webinars and like go check out the Onpassive website. It was like, yay, you know? They did not even have the OES done. They didn't have even the OTRAMAT or anything when that all started, especially the Dubai stuff. So it was like, Jesus Christ, Ash, what are you marketing? So he kind of took it back. But then whenever you asked him where the money went, or brought up money, he would always kind of be like, "Oh, well, we had to put all money into our marketing. It was expensive, blah blah blah." So I'm pretty sure that the founders know that their money went to the marketing, at least some of it, but they don't know how much. Like this company isn't transparent at all, and that's of course one of all of our issues with it, is that it doesn't tell people what the numbers are, and it should be doing that by now, right? It's been going for 5 years technically, so every 2 years an MLM is supposed to be releasing their statement, but they haven't made anything. So, and then if you are technically a founder, you're supposed to know where all the finances are going. And it's not like Ash has ever shown people where it is going or released that information. And they're just fine with it. They're like, it's cool. He's ripping us all off. It's cool. I mean, they're fine with him still after the S.E.C stuff. Where are we going and why are we in this handbasket? I think they believe that once launched, there will be a tsunami, Jesus Christ, of income. The longer the wait, the greater the wave of cash. I think that Ash has kind of been telling them that because he is telling them that the wait is because he's making the products better and doing more stuff for them, right? So it's also going to be a better outcome for all of them, not just like more cash, but it's apparently also going to make the products so much better and they'll be able to help more people and everything will be better if there's a wait. And he really has kind of brainwashed their way of thinking to believe that. That's why I think they all stay as this fucking just turns into more and more of a train crash. A bunch of them are just sitting there like holding on. Like, yay. CD Rome says, mind your business. We can spend our money however we want, is what they always say. Yeah. But that's the thing is that no, he can't, especially since the S.E.C found that him and his wife were buying like groceries for their house with it. Technically, he is right that they can spend their money however they want on the business. Because if you're taking people's money to fund your like business starter, which is technically what this was laid out to sound like, right? Ash claimed that's what this was. That's what he said this all was for. The O-founders were paying in as founders of the company to like a startup, right? So usually when you fucking do that though, you do that and then those people, they get to know like all the cents you're spending, and then all of that money that you make off of them all goes back into just the business. And that's not what was done here. He pocketed a lot of it and then spent it on his personal shit. You can't just take those money and then go to the fucking salon or buy yourself groceries or pay your bills with it. You can't. You could pay like the bills of the buildings for the stupid Onpassive floor you got to pay for. You know, if using the money for that and for the marketing technically is not fraud, because that's what you would be using your money for a startup. But the thing is, some of that money should also be going to product production, product testing, and all this. And that's where he dropped the ball, because he didn't put a cent into any of that, right? So it's like they're doing all this marketing. They're like signing up all these people and they're putting their money into all these new offices, but they don't have a fucking product that they're putting their money in. It's just ridiculous. Most people would put all their money, like the bigger chunk, into the product production and then buy the offices, but not as many as he buys either. Like, it's getting ridiculous. You only need one right now. Like, you literally don't even have one product. You got 6. You have more offices than you do products right now, Ash. Like, what is that about, you know? And then they'll take the money that's left over from all of that though, and then that will go into the marketing and any extra stuff that they need, you know. That's how a normal business does it. These guys just like threw out the whole like business 101 knowledge and just went, you know what? We're just going to market this thing all over the place, open 5 million offices, and then just hope that somehow people just stay here. And that's why I'm always like, it's not a business though. Like it's really not. It's more of a cult right now than it is a business. So Carter says, on tonight's webinar, I think Ash revealed that he is going for his final dip of the founder's pockets with the launch of the O-Connect packages. He'll then disappear before the S.E.C. make a move. I'm wondering if the S.E.C. thing is going to make it so that he will actually try to launch it with a price and try to make up some kind of commission plan, thinking that then the S.E.C. will not find him to be frauding. Do you know what I mean? Because then he can be like, no, look, they are selling this product now. And they do have a commission plan. And there is a business plan now. See? And it's like, yeah, now, but what about the last 5 years? And also, is it going to be a good one? Is it going to work? Or are you lying to people with it, right? That's the other thing. That's misappropriation of funds. Yes, and that's exactly what he's done. A lot of it. A lot of it. All right, enough babbling from me. So when John went to the metro station, but not Onpassive, just Grand Central.
Hey folks, it's me, John.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
JJB Tin Man Views of NY.
And that guy did not look happy to be recorded. I don't ever suggest going out in public and then just recording things. And trust me, at the end of this video, you'll see that John should probably regret doing so as well.
See Grand Central and Onpassive. Folks, just got something to say. You see way off in the distance there, that's a big terrace mezzanine in Grand Central Station. You see that apple? See it up there? There it is. Apple, apple. Now, a lot of folks think we don't need to be here, or maybe they think we'll be here, but they don't think we need to be in New York City or Grand Central Station. And I'm also going to say Times Square and maybe Penn Station. We're not in any of these places yet. You see Apple over there, I just showed you. It's just about to be rush hour here. I'm headed north on a train to go do a recording session for my audiobook again tonight. And I just wanted to come on and let you know, hey, I'm going, and it's crowded now. It's getting crowded here.
Yes, you heard that right. John Barilla is working on an audiobook. Yeah, guys, he's famous, I promise.
Grand Central Station, they get like close to 800,000 people a day. In Times Square, there's 800,000 people a day from all over the world. So I don't know what targeted traffic is, but these are people that maybe, some of them, they don't have a clue. They don't do anything.
Is that what they said, CD, or are you just joking? Because like that does sound like that's what it would be. I'm just saying. I could see Ash literally announcing that. Because like it is going to be like that, by the way. Like if you're just joking, it's a great joke because literally that's what they would make it. It is the commission plan, yeah. So there you go. I guess it's going to be $125 per month, and then you make 25% or $31.25 if you sell one. Sounds like a real job to me. Yeah. Yeah. So you would have to sell at least 4 or 5 a month to even make a profit, and even then it's like literally dick all. Nada. Nothing. Yeah. If he said it more than once, then yeah. I'm just waiting for it to be in writing. Because you know how he makes everybody sign contracts? He has to write up almost like a business plan contract with these people, right? You have to sign a contract to be a distributor in an MLM. Technically, they haven't signed an official one that tells them all of the details. Like, literally, this needs to be in writing. And then they sign something, but they've signed a whole bunch of NDAs and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, really?
Kind of marketing. They don't do anything about the internet. And the thing is, though, that doesn't matter. I got to look for my track.
Yeah, okay.
The whole point I'm making is we need to be here in Grand Central. Apple's got an entire mezzanine.
And I'm Queen Elizabeth I reincarnated.
We need to be here, at least with signs, some kinds of advertisement. We need to be in Times Square. Those huge signs, videos that they have in Times Square. We should be there. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait to see it. I hope it happens soon. There's a lot of people in the USA and in this area of the country, they don't have a clue. I'm talking to people about Onpassive, and they go, well, aren't you worried that you're in a company that's in a foreign country? That's what they think. They don't have a clue how we're everywhere. And I tell them, of course, but that's what I'm saying. We got to get it going here. We got to start pushing. We got to start having advertisement here.
People have a good point, John. Do you not think it's weird? I mean, think about it. Ash is in Florida. The main office is in Florida, but they don't pay for marketing in the US. They only pay to market in places like Dubai, Hyderabad. Is that not weird to you? Why isn't Ash marketing in the USA? I know why he isn't. Maybe you need to think about why he isn't, John. And tell me in the comments why he isn't, because I bet you all of the people here watching right now, they all know why too. Just think about it, John. Think about it.
In New York City and other places around the USA and Canada and other places, Las Vegas.
Hey, don't bring my country.
Okay, folks. That's
don't
all I got to say.
Don't bring my country into this, okay? I get blamed. Canada gets blamed for enough.
Having Grand Central now, I'm looking for track 38. Which way is it? Track 38. Oh, well, I'll find it. I got to get off. Okay. See you later, folks. JJB Tim Ham, Views of NYC, Grand Central, and Onpassive. Bye-bye.
So this one is interesting. John is going to take us on a walk around a little park, and he's going to tell us a couple stories about himself that you should really listen to. Just really, really listen to. It's this little thing called Truth in Advertising. Yes, go to the Tina website. Ricardo says, and I think he made a lot of cash courtesy of the Indian subcontinent. I suspect Ash never anticipated how easy it would be to exploit the delusional with the help of agents like Juice Blender. See, that's the thing, though, right? Is that even Gersminder here in Canada, we have a lot of Muslims here and stuff, and Sikhs and whatnot. But, like, imagine the fact that not only is he taking the ones like here in Canada and the US, but he probably knows some people back home, you know? And he's taking those people too. Like it's a problem. But there's a reason why they don't market in Western society, right? Did he start talking faster because the security guard started following him? Already feel creeped out. Oh, yep, it's a great story he tells us. Canadian geese poop on my car. It's one heck of a mess. Your car would be a mess after that. Go wash your car, Joe.
Hey, folks.
Hi.
It's me, John.
Oh, no.
JJB Tin Man Views of NYC.
He sounds like a radio host when he does that. He should have just gone into radio. I bet you he would have done great. Because he claims to be a voice actor, right? And, like, he does have a good voice. But it would probably be better if he'd be a voice actor like he wants to be and just stop with this Onpassive shit. He could do a lot of voice stuff on fucking YouTube. Talk about all kinds of things. Do his fucking art on YouTube and photography or whatever.
There's a whole bunch of it as you go along.
Instead he does Onpassive.
I'm going to walk to the other side.
He has a great face for radio.
The video is actually going longer than a minute and a half. I don't know if I solved my problem, but I did realize that it's a matter of not saving so many photos and videos actually on my phone. You know, save some, of course, but move a lot of them elsewhere.
Yeah, you heard that right. John's just realizing that he can save the pictures from his phone onto the cloud or like a chip or like a USB device so that he has more room, more memory on his phone. He's just figuring that out. 2 years into being a part of Onpassive, an AI ML technology company, for fuck's sakes.
To be saved.
It's ridiculous.
And then I have space to make my videos and my walk-alongs for you.
So yeah, he's at Union Square. I wasn't gonna say it, but he just showed the sign, and you guys would have probably put it together anyway. Insulin about this. I think I saw this. It was an episode of Law and Order SVU.
Folks, which I have not been doing very much, not only because it was winter time, but we had a mild winter, of course, but because, well, you know, I just haven't been going out much. Especially since COVID times, I guess I didn't really bounce right back. I mean, things are happening. You can see there's people out here. There's people enjoying New York City, enjoying.
So John doesn't bounce. Good to know.
In the park. There's another beautiful tree. Look, well, you can see now these trees. Look at they're getting the little leaves. They're green, and it's going to just sprout. Now they're just going to go crazy. Look over here. Isn't that beautiful?
How spring works with John Barilla.
I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure somebody will tell me when I'm wrong. The other day I didn't mention what flowers I was looking at, and someone came on and said, gladiolas, you know. And I said, yep, I know they're gladiolas. My mom used to have the most beautiful gardens when I was a kid.
Oh, here we go, story time. It's story time now with John about the gladiolas.
And she had every kind of flower you could imagine, but I didn't necessarily, you know, would never log it all. So as an adult, I'll walk along and I'll look at something and I'll say, oh, I remember that from my mom's garden, like the gladiolas I was looking at the other day. They were beautiful. Look at this. That's a statue of Gandhi, of course. Right? In this little garden here on the side of the park. Look at the beautiful trees. See, now they're already dropping some of their blossoms. So those.
It is beautiful. He does do some decent some decent scenery walks on his channel. I'll give him that. Like I said, should probably just do those instead.
Will be gone probably. Well, this one's just starting right here. Look at this. Right? But those will be off of there in a couple of weeks, probably before the 21st to the 24th, which is usually the time that I notice.
He knows all about the trees. He could be an environmentalist.
They will finally drop everything. Because I remember that because my dad's birthday is April 24th. So I always notice that the blossoms are gone and the trees are in full bloom after my dad's or on.
That's kind of cute. My dad's birthday is June 21st, which is the first day of summer. So I guess I relate, sort of.
Or after my dad. Here's a guy taking a picture of a pigeon.
Okay, why are you?
Kind of stuff. Look at that.
Here's a guy recording a guy taking a picture of a pigeon. I don't know what we're doing, but this is riveting content, guys.
The pigeon's posing for him.
I mean, you gotta admit, it is better than Onpassive, right?
Okay. See it? Isn't that great? Boy, I got some. Oh, and the pigeon flew away.
It did.
Immediately after he was finished with the picture.
You can't say that pigeon was not posing for that picture. That's kind of funny.
How about that? He was posing for that photographer. You think pigeons aren't smart? Actually,
I'm like, when did I ever say that, John? Jeez.
Pigeons are great. That's like a childhood memory for me too. My dad.
Yeah, what's that guy doing, John? Wait, go back to that guy. He looks sus as fuck. What was he doing?
Pigeons. Homing pigeons. Is that what you call them? Homing pigeons. You take them out.
I know, pigeons can fly, right? We learn something new every day over here.
Miles and miles from where you live, and you let them go. And
this sounds mean. This sounds like pranking pigeons. Listen to this, though. It's kind of funny because he's like, my daddy used to do this all the time. We used to do it together all the time. You kidnap a pigeon from where it's used to being. You take it somewhere else, far away from home. Excuse me. And then you see if it will, meet you back at your home, which is their home or whatever. And I'm like, well, that sounds fucking mean. Why would you do that? I love birds. Don't do that to the birds. Leave the birds alone.
Like you could race these pigeons. People used to do stuff like that. And you see how quickly they'll get back to your pigeon coop or wherever you have the pigeons. And my dad, he loved to do that. He had pigeons since he was a kid, I guess. He and people in his neighborhood when he was a kid too. And so he just continued things like that my dad did, that he loved, their hobbies and such, that he started as a young person. He would do it through his whole life. Airplanes, model airplanes. I don't know if I've told you guys about that. Maybe.
Wait, hold up. Where did your dad grow up that he and his friends all had like a bunch of pet pigeons? It sounds fun. I want to move there.
Yeah, I'll tell you another time, perhaps. My dad got into model airplanes when you were still connected with the wires, and you could just go around in a circle with them. When he was a young man, about 16, 17, he actually held in the state of Ohio, a speed record or whatever they would time, how fast that thing would go around and around and around.
Maybe he should just tell us about his dad. His dad seems more interesting than he does.
He actually had a speed record for a period of time. And then, of course, as years went on, he switched to the, remote-controlled planes where you can just fly them with the little box and control where they go and what they do. And he started a club called the Skyhawks Model Airplane Club when he was a young man, him and my uncles. And my dad never gave it up through his whole life until he was in his 80s, passed away at 84. He had an airport at one point. He took the trouble to get some gentleman that he knew that was a wealthy man and owned a lot of land in certain areas where they used to be coal mines, strip mines, and this guy had this land, and of course it had all grown back and become beautiful over the years. And my dad went to him because it wasn't being used for anything, and he talked him into.
But John is 73, 74 or some shit. He actually might be 75 now. I'm like, crap, how long have I been here for? Insolent Violence says, actually, pigeons were used extensively in the First World War to communicate. Yeah, pigeons are actually extremely intelligent birds. They're very intelligent. That's why it was kind of funny to me, because he's like, people say that pigeons are not smart or are dumb birds or something, and I was like, who said this? Like, nobody said this, John. Not one person has ever said this. And it's partially because of that, actually. So I'm glad you brought that up. They have found out that pigeons are among some of, like, birds are fucking smart, man. Okay, they actually are, and you can train a lot of birds easily. So, like, I don't know what he's talking about. That's all I'll say. I just don't know what he's talking about. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. We're reacting to John Barilla because he really wanted my attention for 2 years. I know how much he likes all of us over here. He likes me, you, and CD the best, I think. Says, true, the British had pigeons that could speak with a perfect German accent that lived in Berlin and reported back to London. Shut up, Stricardo. John Barilla is walking around NYC. He is. He's walking around. Is he lost? That would be a great video if he just, like, started recording one of these and then got lost halfway through. John Barilla gets amnesia in a couple years. That's what his videos start turning out like. And then I feel really bad. And then this stream will get clipped. And my haters will be running around with this clip going, see, she wished death on him. See, look what you did. Look what you all did to me. He can't be lost. His name is in his underwear. I'm glad that you did that for him, CD. Someone has to look out for our guy here. But yeah, he's walking around New York, and right now he is just kind of talking to us about the birds and the trees, the birds and the bees, you know, the
Giving
usual.
him a couple of acres
His
to
dad.
use as a model airplane airport. So this club, the Skyhawks Airplane
We're in Union Square.
Club, I wasn't going to tell you, and I'm telling you the whole story. The Skyhawks Model Airplane Club, when he was like in his 60s, I think, they got this airport, which my dad maintained, and all the guys would bring their planes, and they actually had to treat it like a real airport. You could only take off.
Like, this is a really great story. The only problem is, and I don't know if you guys were noticing this at all, but you can tell that some of the people are, like, not really appreciating the fact that he's walking around just, like, recording randomly all over the place, right? Like, he gets some looks from some people, and I thought that was fun to see.
On schedule, you'd have to take off
People
safely
I
from
notice are
certain
kind of like,
areas,
what's this guy
coming and
doing?
going, planes coming in, planes going out. It was fabulous, really neat. And I would go home. I long had moved to New York at that time, and
No, he's not using O Connect, Johnny. And yes, he did. He said that Onpassive should be in Grand Central Station. That was his last one. That was his argument. He said, look, Apple is here, so, you know, we should be here right next to Apple because that would happen. That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
I would go back and help my dad. He would have charitable
Johnny says, indeed, it should. It should lay down on the track.
charitable
Have a nap
events,
right here,
like the
Ash.
Heart Association and such, because he had some heart troubles. That's actually what got him in the end. But anyway, he would have these big events.
I am sorry his dad's passed away. I don't know what I'm gonna do when that happens. I am a very, very, very big daddy's girl. But like I said, John is 75 now, I believe.
For charity.
Which, by the way, means he should be, like, retired by now and not trying to run a business to make ends meet. This is why our world sucks at the moment.
Charity and such. And I would go back to help him out with those. Always loved doing it. I miss my.
So now John knows how to race pigeons, and he knows how to fly model airplanes and take care of an airport. And he is an actor and a photographer and a director and a business owner of Onpassive. I told you, he's a man of many hats.
Dad a lot, of course. Anyway, so we're in the park here. I'm walking through. I came on the south side, southeast side, walked to the west side, walked north here, which is about 3.5 blocks of the park. Now we're walking across to the east side again from the west side. And guess who that is? That's Honest Abe.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. See that? Nice memorial to him. There he is, standing in the park. So I'll just walk along here. There's people that are sitting there enjoying the day.
Yeah, they don't want you recording them, John. Like, come on, Barilla.
Steal them in a heartbeat. Oh. Anyway, there's a great playground right there.
All right, guys, this is it. So whatever you're doing right now, if you're doing something else while you're watching this, just stop what you're doing for a moment. This is the part you need to listen to. I put the whole thing in, so I thought it was interesting. He kind of gave us some background on himself, you know. And if we're deep diving friggin' John here, I was like, why not listen to his stories about his dad and how he helped him out at the airport with the model airplanes? And I wonder if that's where they race the pigeons. You know, that would have made sense. Wonder if they ever race the pigeons against the model airplane. Okay, now I'm getting off topic. But this is the part that you're going to want to listen to. This is where I kind of was like, whoa, wait a minute. What the fuck, John, when I first watched this? And this is why I was like, maybe we need to have a talk to John Barilla here and cover him if he's going to be yelling at everybody in my comment section. Because this is a little messed up, all right? Get ready for this.
On the other side here, where the parents, and you know, I can't just go in there because they don't let people just hang out around the kids or anything. It's the parents, though, they are with their kids. Look at some kids over there on that big, see the little girl just with her sliding down. I don't know if you can see him or not.
Yes, this is on his YouTube channel. It is the one called At Union Square. He's heard him say there's a little girl and she just slid down.
But anyway, so they climb up on that slippery dome and then
he zooms in.
Let's see if she's got her bare feet.
The only good thing about it is that he doesn't have the best phone, so it ends up being blurry, so you cannot make out their faces.
You can see it's warm.
Thankfully.
I might get in trouble with one of the parents.
Now he's zooming in on her feet to show us that she's in bare feet to prove it's warm. Not really sure what that's about, but okay, John.
I've actually had. Here she goes. Here she goes. Yo, okay, that's what I want.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's really creepy, and oh my God, there's some cops. And yeah, the cops are looking at him like, what's this guy doing with his phone pointed at the park? What's going on over here? But you haven't even heard the creepiest part yet. Peeping John. Leave kids alone to be kids in peace. Yes, please, John. Please do. And Joe says, playground. Don't go there, John. No, he zoomed in there. Oh, yes, he did. But now get what he says next is even worse. Listen to this. And yeah, those are cops. And listen to this.
Wanted. So, but I've actually had parents when I'm like taking a photo of a bunch of kids playing in front of their school or something, you know, and a parent will come up to me and tell me to not do that. Don't take pictures of my child.
Did you hear it? Do I need to play it again? So listen to the whole thing.
Bare feet. You can see it's warm. Got her bare feet. I might get in trouble if one of the parents see me. I've actually had. Here she goes. Here she goes. Yo,
So he says I might get in trouble if the parents see me like I actually have right before this.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted. So, but I've actually had parents when I'm like taking a photo of a bunch of kids playing in front of their school or something, you know, and a parent will come up to me and tell me to not do that. Don't take pictures of my child. Like I'm probably some, you know, old pervert. So I can't blame him.
So, John Barilla here, yes, has gone to children's schools and taken pictures of kids on the playground to the point that their parents have come up, or probably the teachers is what he actually means, has come up and been like, please stop this. And then he brings up, they do it like I'm some kind of creep, and I don't blame them, but it's like, well, what are you doing, John? You can never just go to a fucking park or a school and start taking pictures of the kids there. If it was my kid, my husband would have cut your head off. You don't do that. So then when he's recording these kids, he's trying to do it in a nonchalant way, right? And he actually says, like, I hope I don't get caught doing this. This is creepy. Parents have got me in trouble for this before. So it's like, why are you doing it again then? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Exactly, Ken. He knows it's a bad idea, but he goes ahead and does it. And you're just like, what? What is wrong with you?
I'm not an old pervert, but somebody might be.
I'm not an old pervert, but somebody might be. I want to believe you. I do.
I love to take pictures of children. What can I do?
Anyway, I love taking pictures of children. What can I do? I'm thinking he means in an innocent way as a photographer, but again, it is creepy because John doesn't have a family. John doesn't have his own kids. So a lot of people are like, that's creepy. Why is he talking about taking pictures of little kids when he doesn't have kids? So I guess do what you want with that one. I was a little bit like, yeah, you don't just take pictures of people's children. Just don't do that. Insulin Violence says, it just occurred to me that Ash used the founder's money for martial arts. Yes, karate! All the fun people take karate. He was prepping for an invite to the big IT CEO's cage fight tournament. Right? Yeah, 75, and he's never been married, and he does not have children. And he enjoys to take pictures at the park of little kids. But he wants us to know he's not a creep. And it's like, I don't really actually believe necessarily he's a creep. But he has to understand that this was a weird fucking thing to say. And this is a weird thing to do. Like, don't just go around taking pictures of kids. If you want to do that, ask permission first. Like, go up and say, hey, I'm a photographer. You got a cute kid. I am doing up a portfolio. And can I take some pictures of your kid? And then maybe it wouldn't be as creepy. I don't really know how you could be an older photographer and do that, though. And I would be just as creeped out if it was a woman doing it, by the way. It's just, don't take pictures of kids without the parents' permission. When at my daughter's school, we have to sign a form at the beginning of the year even that gives the school permission to like take pictures of our kid like during the school events. So it's just not good to like go around just don't go around taking pictures of kids. We need pictures of kids playing for.
Look at that over there. There's a lady taking photos. You see her snapping some photos of that beautiful blossoming tree there. And here's, look, this one's getting very green. This one's got a lot of leaves coming out nice. You see how
this
great
one's got a lot of leaves coming out
force
nice, he
there,
says.
Standing guard, taking care of everybody.
Wondering what you were doing, recording the park?
That's about it for me. I'm going to get off. And took a little walk through the park with you. How long? 10 minutes and 31. Hey, we made it 10 minutes. I haven't made very many long videos in a long time. So we had a 10-minute walk. Look at that beautiful.
John, how do you think 10 minutes is long when you guys hold like fucking 8-hour long webinars? I'm just wondering. He is strange.
So hey, we had a nice walk on a beautiful sunny day. And I'm going to head out now.
Okay.
I'll talk to y'all again soon.
Yay, I can't wait.
JJB Tin Man, Views of NYC, and I didn't mention, almost was going to, but I'll save it. My business? Well, my business is acting. And I'm making a book right
Is
now,
it?
an audio book. Well, before I go on, I'm doing an audio book right now.
Oh, never mind. He's not leaving.
I had a little session a little while ago, a couple hours. Had a long session last night for about 5 hours. Day before, 5 hours.
That's what you would be doing, yeah. If that's your job or your career, yeah. It's quite normal, John.
Takes me an hour and 15 to get up to the studio.
That's not normal. That sucks.
I got to take a train from Grand Central, about an hour north there of the city, and
Stop doxing yourself, damn it!
well, an hour and 15, and then I got to go home.
Take
hour and
care,
15.
Kendall.
Then if I'm there for
Enjoy your dinner.
5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours out of the day there, plus everything else I do with my other business, which I'll mention, Onpassive.
And there it is. We can't even walk around Union Square with this guy and record kids at the playground without hearing about Onpassive.
I'm sure you may have heard me mention that. If you look at my Facebook and such, you probably know that I'm involved with an information internet technology company.
Information Internet Technology? Is that what it's called? It's IIT.
A digital company called Onpassive. And there's the urgent care where I went when I was sick about, well, I guess already now it's almost 2 years.
That sucks.
And I had like
Why are you showing this to us?
The night. Didn't know that
What do you
I
think
had
to show us?
a urinary tract infection caused by 4 huge, well, 3 were not so huge, and 1 was huge, kidney stones.
Okay.
And also I had, unbeknownst to me, 13 polyps because I hadn't had a colonoscopy. I'm not finished, I guess. I'm still going here.
So when you say that John Barilla is full of shit, you could actually mean it. He hadn't had a colonoscopy in years. Got 13 polyps.
Since I was like 45.
He had to have his arse scratched out. Okay, no wonder why he's always in a bad mood.
And I didn't realize that
We knew that there was something up his ass. Like, we knew.
I had, you need to get a colonoscopy or you need to get checked anyway, folks. Especially when you
I meant your brain, but I mean, okay.
get a little older. It should be every 3 to 5 years, I guess. I didn't do that. So I didn't.
Yeah, he said he got a UTI. And he had kidney stones. And 13 polyps in his anus. All at the same time. He's a survivor, I tell you. He's a survivor.
No, when I had this problem with my urinary tract infection and then the kidney stones,
See?
all of which was taken care of, had some surgical procedures, took care of me.
Oh my God, and then he had to have the surgeries? He had to have surgery for this. Oh my God, I am so glad that he recovered.
But little did I know at the same time, then they made me go get checked up with a lot of other things. Found out that I had these 13 polyps.
John!
Not a couple.
John!
But a lot of people will.
John! John, we cannot hear you when you are walking next to somebody that is singing on the street. Can you either stop talking while you're walking by them or get the fuck away from them to talk? Like, this is driving me insane.
Find when they get a colonoscopy, maybe there was a polyp, they took care of it, whatever. 13, one of which was precancerous. And
oh my God, and one was he had cancer too. Lord, John, just everything has happened to John, and he's done everything, and he is everything. This guy's amazing. He's like a fucking superhero.
Large. And the rest were all benign. But of course, the doc went in there, did a zap, just like the lady doctor that did my.
Why are you like recording the back of this guy? This is like the weirdest fucking thing to record. He's like, watch this guy with his backpack.
Kidney stone, did a zap.
Lady in a wheelchair that lady in a wheelchair almost just ran over somebody there. Did you see that?
With a laser, and all is well. Ever since.
I can't hear you.
I'm actually doing quite well. don't take a lot of medications or anything as an old guy. And I do take a high blood pressure medicine, which I just got renewed last week. I went for a full physical. Went really well. My physical went well. And everything's good. And so anyway, had to renew.
It was bells. It was bells. He almost hit bells. Oh, damn it. He should have gone faster.
My blood pressure medicine, but I'd been off of my medicine for about 2 weeks because I ran out. And I thought it would be automatically renewed, but after a while, they want you to go in and get checked up. So they wouldn't give it to me till I went in and got checked up. Oh, I'm terrible sometimes. Anyway, so I went and got it checked.
All right, so John is not practicing his self-care. It's we're finding out.
Checked up, and they took my blood pressure, and it wasn't that high. That meant off the medication. Oh, it was like what they call pre-hypertension, but it was in the low pre-hypertension area.
It was in the low pre. Oh, Lord, John, just take care of yourself and go to the damn doctor on a regular basis, would you?
So that's just above normal. So that's not bad. And then here's the urgent care place where I went and they took
What
care
the?
of me.
You literally just told us that. That's the story you were already telling us.
Going to the hospital a couple blocks from here. But that's a wonderful urgent care place. That's where
Oh, thank God that was over. I couldn't put up with one more second of that. I was like, now we're doing the repeat. He's repeating himself now. He's done so much story time on this. We're now in repeat. It was like, what the? What the? My favorite John is when he steals other people's videos. So this is my favorite. I love it.
Hi friends. How are you all?
I'm
This
good.
is
How are
Satya
you?
Papu from India, proud brand ambassador of Onpassive.
No, it's not.
What Onpassive is and what Onpassive do. Onpassive is an AI
What Onpassive is and what Onpassive do, not does. What Onpassive do.
technology company.
So yeah, John stole that video from somebody else and then literally just recorded himself staring at the camera like that for the whole thing. It's very creepy. And here we have John just, being John.
Hey folks, hello. It's me, John. Here I am, got some sun on my face there. JGB Tin Man, Views of NYC. And I just thought I'd come on, make a quick video.
Yeah, he just calls himself News of NYC. Like he gives the NYC news, but then all we get is Onpassive and what he's doing with his days.
It's kind of a nice day here. Been busy all day. It's
Where's the news, John?
Saturday. But I've been occupied with various things, some business stuff and other
Just
stuff.
occupied.
But, anyway,
He's so busy, that John. He does so much. He has his hand in everything.
I'd come on. I'm coming out to go shopping again, get my groceries for the day or whatever.
Oh wow, shopping. Fancy. Fancy trip.
And I've been meaning to show you folks something, but as long as you're looking at my face, you can't see what I want to show you. So let me get rid of my face. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
This is what I want to show you. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get this
ground?
out. There's a little hairband.
You wanted to show us the sidewalk?
Hair thing, Okay. But anyway, this is right here, Astor Plaza. I spend a lot of time around here.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah, here's the last one. Here's the last one before we get to now we made the whole circle around.
Yes, I did delete a bunch of it. We don't have to react to everything. He did a lot of rambling in this one. He basically read us all the monuments and showed us all of the art on the ground.
And we read what the thing was all about. The exhibition. And there's the last
exhibition.
one. Oh, another character in there. That's a recurring character, obviously. Okay. There we go. And then here was the first one again that we started from. We went around all the way around the other side. Came around there. And there we are.
I love how he takes us for a walk, and then when he gets back to where he started, because he's usually doing some kind of weird circle, he reiterates to us what directions he came and went to. It's like, oh, I came from the southwest, and then I went towards the north. Then I went back over to the south, and then over to the southeast, and now I'm back over here. And you're like, thanks, John. Thanks. I totally, that makes total sense for me. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's the neat thing about New York too, folks, and living around here, especially East Village. This little tribute here is something to East Village writers, poets, and artists. I knew a lot of those names, of course. I'm familiar with
they
a
don't
lot
know
of
you, I bet.
Since I live on St. Mark's Place, a few of those
Never
names,
stop talking
Allen
yourself.
Ginsberg, for example, he lived on St. Mark's, just right over
Stop
there.
Stop doxing him
walking around
now.
where I live, right near here. So anyhow, folks, that's all I got, and I didn't even think it would be this long. So anyway, check this out, and I will speak to you later, because it's JJB, Tin Man, Views of NYC. Bye for now on a really nice Saturday afternoon. Bye.
And that is literally what John does on his channel. That is all of the stuff that I could get through on his channel with all of you. Because, there's a lot. Go to Westchester County, yes. Go do a stream with S.E.C, Chris, from Westchester County, New York. That would be fun. That would be hilarious. So, what is going to happen now? I'm sure you are wondering. We are going to have a little break, and then when I return, we are going to talk a little bit more about who John is, and I have a couple other things that I want to react to. One of them in which he tells us his entire Onpassive story, so that will be very interesting. So you're going to have a 3-minute and 50-second break about just under 4-minute break to go pee, or, just turn this off if you're bored. Love you. I'll be right back. It's been a while since we've heard that song over here, so I thought that that would be a fun one to play for our break today. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And I thought that we would just spend a moment going through, what John's been up to as of most recent. So this is John Barilla's ONET, which is Onpassive's virgin. Oh, well, they are kind of a virgin, aren't they? And John might be a virgin, actually. But Onpassive made their own version, which is what I was trying to say, their own version of Facebook, if you will. As you see, it's very Facebook-esque. And it says that John Barilla joined January 10th, 2023. It asks your relationship status. I think they want to date you on here. I'm just warning you. Okay. So he says single. His date of birth is September 15th, 1948. His birthday is literally like right after my daughter's birthday, 3 days later. I think it's great. We'll have to have a special birthday celebration for John. He has his email, and I don't even know why they have like phone here if they're just gonna put fucking numbers on. Like, this is so weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why even do that? Yes, he's an incel. That's it. John actually kind of is, though. That's the thing. The only thing is he hasn't been posting on here for 11 weeks, as you guys can see. It's kind of weird. Oh, what just happened? Did I just get timed out? I just got timed out. Did I just get timed out of my ONET? Is that what just happened? How do you get timed out of ONET? Jesus. That's not good, guys. That's not good. Now you guys are going to see how long it took me to load this page when I first loaded it. Doesn't load right away. You see that? Yeah, IT tech company peeps. All right, there we go. That's better. That's better. So you scroll down and you'll see John Barilla was, posting quite strongly 30 weeks ago. He posted up his lovely profile. So you see it says, I'm a proud brand ambassador, which is what they're calling themselves now down at Onpassive. And he made this little card that says, Onpassive is very delicious. In fact, it's Onpassilicious. We are fine. And I'm like, great quote. Good job, John. Good job. You did it again. Because they had to redo the ONET because it's such a great program, great app, website, whatever they call it, that it got fucked up. And when they redid it, everyone had to come back in and redo their like cover photos and their profile pictures and stuff. So that's why I believe it's posted on there twice. Then he updated it to this lovely Oblast thing. Then he went back to this and he says, this was 13 weeks ago. He says, look what Ash gave us and be amazed and grateful. Onpassive is delicious. In fact, it is Onpassilicious with 2 P's now. Onpassilicious. I am the Tin Man and I have a heart. And I was like, so are you Al? I think we found Al, guys. It's John. John Barilla is Al. Confirmed. Then he posts up his YouTube videos and like tags like everyone. And then 11 weeks ago, he says, hey, does everyone know that tonight, June 1st, is game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat? And then, but he doesn't ask it as a question. It's a rhetorical question, you see, because he didn't put question marks. It's just exclamations. So he didn't actually want you guys to answer it. He just, rhetorically wanted to say, does everyone know this? And then he posts up Denver 104 Nuggets 93 game 1. Nuggets first NBA Finals appearance. Jovic is a monster, one of the greatest players of all time. There's no punctuation in this. I'm sorry. I read that in an awful way. And then you'll see he has we have no mutual friends. but he does have his friends on there. And this thing takes forever to load for me to scroll down. So you might not get to see them today. I'm sorry. His media is that he posted up these pictures, as you saw, and he doesn't have any blog. So he's not really using the ONet to its fullest. He seems to be also not using his LinkedIn as often as he once did. You didn't know? As you can see, he lists himself as an actor at various employers. Talks about hashtag film, hashtag drama, hashtag theater life, and hashtag arts and entertainment. He's from New York, United States, he says, and he went to Kent State University. His About section reads, I am an actor, singer, voiceover artist, stage manager, coach, and also photographer and affiliate internet marketer. I would hope to fill my time with these pursuits. And then, he lists that he was an actor, narrator, voiceover. And he says, I did a series of narrations for an animation that was used as part of the performance and also read live narration for the reading. And then he also has actor slash stage manager. From 1987 till 2005, he apparently had this so-called job. He says, I performed in the shows as a principal actor and also stage managed many of the shows at times, performing both duties at the same time. He got his Bachelor of Fine Arts in speech, theater, acting. And he went there from 1966 till 1970. And so he says he got his Bachelor of Fine Arts, his BFA in theater, and he graduated from Kent State University. It's endorsed by 67 people, and that's for his acting. His commercials has 3 endorsements. His voice acting has 17. And he just kind of comes on here and posts up what other people post. But what I found really funny is the fact that he follows Tony Robbins. I was like, yeah, no, I could totally see that. So as you see, he just kind of uses it now instead of for his acting to promote Onpassive. So Onpassive has completely taken over John Barilla's entire life. He also has a Flickr account, and he joined that in November of 2010. And he's, of course, got 126 people that he's following, but he has 14 followers. And it says, I'm an actor, singer, photographer who has lived and worked in NYC for 48 years. I've been around and experienced life, and hopefully that shows in my work, whether it's as a performer or a photographer. I'm particularly passionate about photographing, Jesus, New York City and its people. And these are some of his photographs, which some of them are quite good. I mean, this one here is good. I like this. It's different. This is a pretty good shot of the baseball field, and this is a really neat sunset. So he's not the worst photographer ever. He really does say that he is a photographer, and these are some decent pictures, John. Maybe you should stick to doing that. I imagine if you keep practicing too, you'll just keep getting better. And then we get to something that I find really funny, which is John's IMDb. Because as you know, John is always saying, I'm an actor, and this is his IMDb. Now, on his LinkedIn, it says that he did theater, and this is why I keep saying he did theater. John does local theater. He's not doing Broadway, like I said, but he has local theater stuff that he does. So he does a lot of theater work, but it's funny because none of that is on here. On his IMDb, it says he was born in Steubenville, Ohio, USA, and yes, that's where where John Barilla that we know is born. This is how I knew this was his. So it says John Barilla was born in Steubenville, Ohio, USA. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I probably am. He was known for Night of the Zombies in 1981 and Sesame Street in 1969. Motherfuckers hasn't worked since fucking 1981. That's before I was born, dude. I was born in 86. I'm 37 years old. He hasn't worked in fucking years as an actor. That's the only things he's got. Then it says trivia. It says he voiced a narrating detective for animation segments on Sesame Street, 1969, in the late 1980s and early 1990s. So was it in 1969? Or was it and in the late 80s and early 1990s? Or was it in the 80s and early 90s? Like, we don't know. Was it all of them? Like, this is the worst written one I've ever seen. Then it says he studied acting at Kent State University and miming. Yeah, he's also a mime, guys. Miming at Arcata, California's Humboldt State University after graduating from Steubenville Catholic Central High School. All right, and then it shows this. Yeah, you've seen it. I looked that up recently for a video I did, or am doing, I should say. It's not out yet, but it will be. So I know that most of you guys are familiar with Sesame Street, right? And he claims to have, done this in 1969. Don't worry, I am looking for it. We are going to find it. And then when I find it, we're going to react to it. There's still a couple more things of John's that I have not been able to find, unfortunately, by the time that this stream started, but I am hoping to find it in the future, and we'll talk about it. Don't you worry. This is one of those things. 1969 is when Sesame Street started. He didn't come along until way later. Well, we're going to try to find the one he's in, and when I do find it, we will literally fucking look like I'll look at all of them until I find him in the credits. I swear to God. We're going to try and find his episode. IMDb just shows when a show starts. Okay, so that's what the 1969 was. So I guess that's what they were doing with the 1969, and then that would mean that he was then in Sesame Street in the 80s and 90s. So I'm going to look for that. It said what he played, right? So we're going to look for that and see if we can find it. So everyone knows what Sesame Street is, right? You know, with Big Bird, Elmo, and the gang there. I don't think I have to go into that. But this is beautiful. This is amazing. Night of the Zombies. He says he was in the Night of the Zombies. And the summaries go like this. Investigators search for soldiers' missing bodies and hear unbelievable rumors about zombies. Dismissing those rumors, they set out to investigate. After two men are found dead, CIA Special Agent Nick Monroe is sent to flush out what are suspected to be deserted from the old U.S. Army Chemical Corps unit. Nick's ruthless investigation uncovers a ghoulish plot of world domination. But first he must escape the horror that does not want to be known yet. Oh my god! Oh my god! He was in a horror film. Like one of the easiest things to be in. One of the easiest things to be in. So easy that Draven Script Shows claims his girlfriend was in one. It's easy. Then the other one I like as well says, in the final stage of World War II, a chemical warfare unit of the United States Army was positioned in the Bavarian Alps. They were not sent. They were send in battle against a Schutzstaffel SS unit. I have no clue what the fuck that says. And seemingly disappeared. Both units were declared missing in action. MIA. Haha, I know that acronym. 3 decades later, investigators look into rumors about zombie field soldiers in the Bavarian Alps. After several investigators turn up dead, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, well, they really don't like acronyms, takes an interest in the case. Agent Nick Monroe is assigned to investigate the case. He soon learns that the soldiers were exposed to a nerve gas called Gamma 693 that mutated them into flesh-eating zombies. The same nerve gas has kept them alive in the intervening years. Monroe also uncovers evidence of a deeper conspiracy. Yep, that's what it is. So I'm going to check that out, and maybe we'll even do a watching of that one day just for fun. Just because he says he's in it. Why not, people? Why not? Why not? So earlier on, I told you guys that John Barilla was someone that is very, very active. And I actually found this post in September 2nd of 2021 just to kind of show you like how much John comments and how active he is. It's somebody that posted up a video that joined Onpassive, and it goes on and talks about what it is. This is impossible for me to read. It's like Onpassive new update in Hindi, answer all the questions, Onpassive webinar evaluation in Hindi on August 13th, 2020, new update. It's pure IT firm, Net Revolution, as well as service lecture by Katie Salka in Hindi. Onpassive is a new technology system, some state of future unicorn firm that intends to give a luxury plug and play platform for anyone with on the internet company or an offline organization with an online existence, which is practically every organization. Ash offers us his years of experience to save everybody time and money as we consider organizations to improve our lives. In between his failures and also successes, he learned what an organization needs to look like. This amazing insight will conserve you time and also give to the ability to examine a new organization opportunity in 20 minutes. You'll know if it is for you or not. Extremely cool, but knowledge constantly is. One more terrific Zoom with a little twist for the new people specifically to discover Onpassive. Action under this umbrella of success, as well as launch with Onpassive this year. Time to change that profits and your life. Onpassive business plan in English. Onpassive presentation. Onpassive full plan in English. Onpassive video in English. Is Onpassive real? What is Onpassive? Is GoFounders a pyramid system? Is GoFounders legit? Onpassive launch day. Onpassive launch day. And then it's the actual hashtags and whatnot. And it was a video that was posted, and then literally John comes and on July 9th, 2021 at 11:29 p.m. he says, "Listen to Red and join us as a founder. You will never regret it." But before that, he also posted at 11:26. Come to an open public webinar tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and ask that question. It does give you more perks, but everybody will succeed in Onpassive. No need to worry about when you get in or how many folks you have on your team. Right? He commented twice too. And the person has now disabled the comments. It was probably because John commented so much. I swear it was, okay? I swear. So I just thought that it was quite interesting to see that because it shows that he's like, like I said, he's one of the first ones if someone posts up anything about Onpassive to come and comment to you. Apparently even twice. So without further ado, I'm going to play the last little bit of the videos I have. So what I have for you guys in the first bit, I didn't have time to edit this one as well as I did the first one. My beginning of my presentation is always lovely, and then by the end I lose it, I find, because I'm just insane. But in the first little bit, you're going to hear a webinar where John kind of comes on. He mistakens the woman saying, like, does anyone have anything to add? And he somehow hears, does anyone have anything to ask? And proceeds to like go on a big rant at her about that. And then he kind of talks about like making money and how it doesn't necessarily make you happy, and he talks all about happiness, all right? And then after that, I actually have a clip of him where he's on the Julian Milo show when that was a show. I know it's not anymore, but it was, okay? And in that clip, he actually tells us all about himself. He tells us his whole story and he tells us his entire story with Onpassive, like how he joined and everything. And I obviously think that that's really important for me to play today. So I told you guys we were going to do a big deep dive on John, and I hope that I am delivering just that to all of you. So without further ado, let's get into these
factors. Maybe somebody wants to add something. Does somebody want to add anything before I continue?
Yeah, see, you heard it. Does anyone want to add anything before I continue? Now listen to John go off.
Mr. John, anyone wants to add something?
I don't know if I want to ask anything, but I'm just digesting what you're saying and just getting some thoughts about what I think about it. But I don't have a question off the top of my head for you. Just if I could say something now, or if you want me to wait, I would, but I could say just a few words right now rather than ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm noticing as I listen that what is the greatest misconception about wealth? And one of the things, or I think the greatest misconception is that wealth does cure all ills, or that once you have great wealth or wealth, that all your troubles are gone and everything's okay and everything's taken care of, and that's a misconception. That's not true for many people. Now, for some people, perhaps wealth just helps contribute to the positive things in their lives. But the thing is that for many people, many wealthy people with money or extreme amounts of money, are miserable.
I feel like this gives us a really good insight into John and the way that he thinks about the world. And maybe also why he kind of joined, right? Even here at the beginning.
Or if they're not miserable, they're unhappy or miserable because of the situation where once you are very wealthy, people take advantage of you, or negative influences come into your life. And that's a true conception, not a misconception. So I would just say that if there is great wealth, it's very important to have certain
You mean negative influences like Ash Mufara?
elements in your life, not brought to you by money or that wealth, that monetary gain, but you need value in your life. You need love in your life.
Yes.
You need caring in your life for yourself, for your humanity, and for others around you. And like I say, many people with money are miserable because they don't have these qualities that I think are absolutely necessary for wealth to be a good thing or a valuable thing in your life. Otherwise, it means nothing, because there are people with hardly anything that are very much wealthier than a lot of other people with a lot of money, because they have certain things, values in their life that make them wealthy. And that's what's important.
So and thank you so much for making that point. That is so true. I really highly respect that, because that is true. Our wealth is the love that we share. Our wealth is value. Our wealth is what we contribute towards humanity. That is the actual wealth. It makes you happy. It makes you fresh, because when you do that, there is something that happens when you give. You create a vacuum within you that keeps filling up, and you don't know how it fills up, because you are giving out. You give to give. You don't give to receive, because when you give from that mindset, things begin to fill up for you real quickly without you
Sure they do.
even knowing. And
all right, so that was basically John's little speech about happiness and how he doesn't understand that people that don't have any kind of wealth probably have a harder time being happy. Let's just say that. As Alp says, wealth may not make you happy, but being poor sure does seem to correlate to being unhappy. They've actually done studies with that. So now what you're going to hear next is John telling us about the NDA, telling people that they have to sign it again. Shouldn't have even done it the first time.
Let's find out. Okay.
Yvonne, could I say something? You'll probably, I don't know if you were going to get to it or not, but I don't think we've mentioned yet today a pretty important announcement, because we have most founders in our audience tonight, I would imagine, today. And I hope everybody, if you haven't seen, we have to check our OES, because we have to go in there and re-sign our NDA. It might say in your OES, it might say become an affiliate. And you might say, wait a minute, become an affiliate? Didn't I do that? I did all that. Well, we are being told we have to go in there, and it's probably there for everybody, but they're saying, look and see if it says become an affiliate. Well, then you click on it like you did before, and you re-sign the NDA. You have to do that now. We want to make everybody aware of that in case they haven't seen it. It's been put out there.
Right, Joe signed the 57th NDA. The best part is not one of them work in a court of law. They're not legal. And I wouldn't be surprised if this NDA is exactly one of the reasons why they're being caught with fraud by the S.E.C, right? Because they're making people sign fraudulent documents. Telling a bunch of people like this in a business setting, well, business again in quotes, but that's what they're claiming they are, is a business, right? To sign like NDAs that aren't even fucking legal NDAs and then try to hold them to that, that's frauding people too. And it's also breaking a bunch of contract laws. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Today, but I don't know if we mentioned it to everybody.
Thank you so much, John.
Gee, thanks, John. Thank you so much for telling them that they had to do that again. You know, since it's not even legally binding.
For really recalling that. I almost forgot about that. Thank you so much. Yes, do that. Let's all do that. I'm going to do.
I almost wish she forgot about it.
All of us are going to, let's keep checking, just in case. And then we keep telling the other family members, you know, let them do the same thing too.
So for the rest of this stream now, this is about half an hour long. John is going to be on the Julie and Milo show, and this is when he gives his entire story to us.
Julie and Milo show is here today.
I missed the song, guys.
Bringing you founders from near and far. Listen as they tell you now who they are. Listen to the stories how they tell. When they join them so well. Telling us what it's today. And how they love in the Onpassive way. Here today on Onpassive. No better way.
Woo!
Listen to the Julie and the Milo show. So that you can be the very first to know. Onpassive, it's here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way.
Onpassive.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show.
Julie and
Today is December.
For those that don't know, the Julie and Milo show is now over. Rip. Everyone put rip in the chat for the Julie and Milo show. We missed the Julie and Milo show. It was weekly, and it was fun to react to, I gotta say. More fun to react to than a lot of the other things that myself and the Recovering Unbought reacted to. We miss it.
November 29th, 2021. We all...
So yeah, November 29th, 2021 is when this is from. Alp says rip. And Joe, thank you so much for being here. Try and catch this though, because it's interesting. If you haven't heard John's story, come to the 2.5 hour mark of the stream and watch from there. Good night. Have a good one. But yeah, I actually really do miss this show. I'm not gonna lie. I often, this is the one that I would watch to find out what was going on, to tell you the truth.
Only have a few days before the new year coming, and I'm so glad
if you don't believe me, the date's on the bottom right.
From the
it's on the bottom right of the screen as well. Even says the time.
Julie and Milo show from Orange County, California. My dear friend Milo. Milo, if you could please say hello.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Milo from Nashville, Tennessee.
These guys broke up. It was very sad. We're all still getting over it.
Thank you, Milo. Milo, you and I have been on together on the Julie and Milo show for over 1 year, and it's such a blessed journey that we have been. Many memories have been made, many friends that we've met. We have interviewed almost 170 people, founders that are in our journey with us. And what a beautiful company that we are part of. That company is Onpassive. Not only the company that giving us the values of what they're creating, but we do have a community full of many.
Nobody pumps this company up like Julie can.
Many good hearts and soul around the world, and I'm so blessed to be here with us today. Today we do have a founder sitting in our waiting room, and I can't wait for you to introduce our friend here, Milo.
Absolutely, Julie. We just met this guy recently, but wow, what an incredible story. And we'll be talking about a lot of it, but I'm talking about none other than Mr. John Barilla. Come on out, John.
Woo! Yeah! Yay, John
go.
Barilla!
Hi. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Yay!
John, welcome to the show. So good to have you on the show today.
So yeah, this was like would have been shortly after John would have become very active, but he would have already been in the company for almost just about a year at this point.
Hello, John. Good to see you. Thanks for having time here with us.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm a little nervous, actually, and I'm a performer, and I don't get nervous. I don't get stage.
I told you guys, do not drink every time he mentions that he's an actor or performer. Just don't do it. You would have died already. Does anyone out there need an ambulance?
Right or anything, but I'm actually just a little bit nervous today.
Oh, there's nothing to be nervous about. We're just going to talk to you as a founder. Me and Julie say we're the most blessed people in the world. We get to sit and talk to founders each day and stuff. So we want to know a little more about John Barilla, and so does all the fans out there. And so we would like you to tell us, where was John Barilla born? How about his mom and dad? How about his siblings and his family now? Take about 3-4 minutes and let us know about that.
Oh, sure. I could 3 or 4 minutes. I will. But boy, I come from Steubenville, Ohio. That's where I was born in Ohio.
That's how you say it.
And my town is rather, I'd say, famous, but it's almost more infamous. But it is kind of a famous place in some ways. And actually, Dean Martin, I don't know if you remember the great star and singer, Dean Martin, he was born in Steubenville, Ohio, about a week after my father. And so they're the exact same age and grew up, kind of knew each other. They weren't best friends or anything, but they knew each other, went to high school, went to the same high school, and both dropped out of high school in their junior year. And I always think that my dad came from a very, very poor Italian American family. Dean's family had a business, and even during the Depression I'm sure they had a hard time, but not that bad. And when he left school, when my dad left school, he had to leave because
What I love about John is he's just met everyone, and he's on this for 2 seconds, and then just starts telling his life story.
He had to go and like deliver ice or get some kind of money coming in because everybody in their family worked. Anyway, Dino left school, and his remark about that, at the same time as my dad, his remark about that was, well, there wasn't anything more that the teachers, I knew what I knew, and the teachers couldn't teach me anything more, so I left. But anyway, my family, I have my mom and my dad, they're both passed, but I have 2 sisters, and Pam is my youngest sister, and Pat is my older sister. I'm in the middle. And we had a wonderful, loving family. my entire life. It still continues, of course. My sisters are still with me, but they live in Florida. And we grew up in Steubenville. We had a wonderful life there, and a big Italian American family with lots of aunts and uncles and grandmas and not so much grandpas. They all passed rather early. I knew one grandpa vaguely, but I didn't even know the other grandpa. But at any rate, my sisters now live in Florida.
Remember, this is the first time they're ever seeing him on a webinar. And they already know like his whole family history.
Florida, still very close to them. And I haven't had a chance to visit them for a while, mostly because
John's like that guy where when I used to be a cashier at the grocery store, I'm going to tell you right now, and people are going through the cash, and there'd always be like this one guy that would buy like only 2 things, right? But then he would want to tell me his whole life story while he was coming through the cash. Because you always say, hi, how are you? And then usually they just say, good, you? And then you say, good, and that's it. But then there's always that one guy where you're like, hi, sir, how are you today? And he's like, well, when I woke up today, I had a headache, so I had to go and take a big drink of orange juice, and then that didn't really help, so I went and had a nap, and then I thought I'd come here down to the grocery store, pick me up some Tylenol to maybe get rid of it. Headaches run in my family. My great-grandpa had a headache. It actually ended up being brain cancer, and you're just like already rug them through, and then you're like standing there like, not wanting to cut him off to tell him what the price is to get him out of there, but he tells you his whole life story, and then you just kind of go, "Oh wow, sounds like you had a day." So that will be $5.25, please. That's who John is. John is that guy that is every cashier's fucking nightmare. I promise you. They're like, "Hi, sir. How are you doing?" He's like, "Well, my mom and dad are both dead, but my dad, when he grew up," and you're like, "Oh my God."
Because of COVID. And I was thinking about trying to go down maybe just recently for Christmas, but the way things are again with the Omicron and the airports, in particular in New York here, they were canceling so many flights and there's so much problems. I just wasn't ready to, just do that yet. So I actually have not seen I talk to them all the time. We do Zooms and all that stuff. I have 2 great nephews, my niece and whatever, but I haven't spoken to my family. I haven't been with them for about 3.5 years. So, but
I wonder what his family thinks about Onpassive.
Great family life, and I miss them all the time because I'm here alone in New York City.
What about your family now, John?
Oh, my immediate family, it's me. I have never been married.
That was funny to me because they asked him about his family, and he tells them about his family, and then they're like, no, we meant are you married with kids or anything? He's like, no, it's just me. So naturally, whenever someone asks him about his family, he tells you his whole family history because his family to him is still to this day his mom, his dad, and his sisters, because he never went off and made his own family. And once you make your own family, it's kind of like when someone asks you about your family. Like if someone asks me about my family, I don't think of answering about my family I grew up with or my biological family ever. You ask me about my family, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's me, my husband, and my daughter. But he doesn't have that. So they were like, oh, your family, and he goes into a whole rant.
I don't no explanation of that. I don't know that it was done for but who knows why. I used to call myself a confirmed bachelor, but I didn't confirm it. I used to say to folks, gee, I wonder if who knows, will I ever get married? Oh, you got plenty of time, John. Well, as the years have gone on, if I mention that now, I'm 73. People aren't.
Bro, take a breath.
Going, you got plenty of time to get married, don't? And I'm like, well, I guess I am. Maybe I'm going to go all the way through as a bachelor.
You do.
But you never know what the future may hold.
Yes, you do. You do. It seems like you're very energetic, full of life. And when I look at your bio,
that's Julie's way of saying you never shut up.
About things that you've done, things that are interesting. That you have done, and you're such a musical kind of guy. You play instrument, you're in theater, you sang, you did all of that. So without me telling everything, would you tell us what are things that you have done that are interesting that you want to share with us
here?
Oh
God. Oh no, Julie. What you doing, Julie? Oh God. Now Julie's opened up the door for this. So here we go.
Okay. Well, if I go back, because you mentioned music and all that.
By the way, this is his first Onpassive interview. Like I keep saying, remember, this is how everyone got introduced to him, even in Onpassive.
I started. I don't know if I wouldn't say accidentally, but I guess I showed some kind of musical ability in school, and it was probably from singing.
Oh my God, he's just so
I would imagine
talented.
that I wasn't playing any instruments or anything, but they told my parents that John shows some real interest, promise in music or whatever. So my parents said, let's have him learn a musical instrument, and being an Italian American, my uncle, who also helped our family out a lot, because we were not poor, but we had some rough times too. My uncle always seemed to be the one that would come through with anything like an instrument for this music I'm going to learn, and he chose it. I had nothing to do with it, and all of a sudden I had this accordion, and I learned to play the accordion when I was, I think I started 5 or 6,
oh
5,
my
I
God.
think, and got
guys. Now he's also a famous accordion player. The resume just gets longer. It's like the size of my arm now.
Pretty good at it. By the time I was 12 years old, I was kind of playing in public, and I continued with it. But then I kind of morphed. At one point, I still played the accordion, but I got into a rock band at one point when I was about 14 years old. Played with that for about.
Oh my God, he's next.
Well, until I was into my freshman year in college, on and off. But
he's like that guy that's still living in his old high school days. Although for him, he's living in 1969.
Eventually, that kind of went away because by the time I went to college, I was interested in, and always was interested since I was a little boy. I always wanted to be, for whatever reason, an actor. And I wanted to, and I was pretty sure even then that I was going to move to New York.
And John is like a lot of the actors that I know, all about themselves, and they never shut up. I just want to let you all know that I'm also talking about myself when I say that.
New York City and be an actor, not Los Angeles, where all the movies were necessarily, although I love and am passionate, and I'm a bit of an aficionado about old movies and old Hollywood. So I loved all that. But the old Hollywood movies that were about showbiz and the stage in New York City and vaudeville in the old days. And so that kind of, I was smitten, and I was true to that. And I did end up going to school, continuing music, but not in rock bands, not so much. I began to use my musical ability more for singing, and I would do musicals and drama.
Milo's like, I'm the singer of the group. I'm the musician. This guy's taking my spotlight.
And I got my degree in acting and directing at Kent State University.
He claps.
In Ohio, and
it's rubbing his hands together.
And then immediately after I graduated, well, I did about 3 months worth of graduate work, and then I didn't complete it. I came right to New York City, and had a few little pauses when I first came here because I had to serve an alternate service instead of being in the Army. So I got a.
Look at Milo, though, up there in the top right, just rubbing his hands. He just can't wait for John to finish this.
A job at Bellevue Hospital, which is a whole interesting, long story in itself. But I began to get my feet wet.
Did you see? Did you see Milo's face drop when he was like, "That's a whole long, interesting story"? Milo was like, "Oh God, don't get started on that one now."
Check out the musical and dramatic scene in New York and what it takes to try to become an actor. And I'm not sure I've ever figured it out yet. I'm still doing it, and I'm doing okay.
And now he's clapping again.
I wouldn't be in it at 73 if I wasn't somewhat successful.
He's like, okay, this has to be the wrap up of this part.
But I became a journyman actor, and
oh, he just interrupted him.
That's what I am today. I live in New York City, and you know, other things I'm trying to think. Along the way, of course, there have been many interesting things, I would imagine. I've had a lot of other jobs and such.
He's like, wow, so many jobs.
You know, I was a cab driver. I was back in the day when it was a little, well, it's probably still rough to be a cab driver, but still, when I drove a cab, it was like being out in the Wild West driving a stagecoach or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I was a limousine driver. I've managed clothing stores. What else? I was a waiter very briefly. And the thing about that might even connect up to Onpassive
now
a little
he's been
bit,
a
but
driver and a waiter.
we get to that point. But anyway, you know.
John.
I mean, his resume is now the size of my whole body. Now he has also been a cab driver, a limo driver, a waiter, helped his dad run airports, helped him raise pigeons. He's an actor. He's a writer. He's a director. He's a business owner. I mean, he's a musician. He's done everything, this dude.
Go ahead.
You've got a lot of stuff. You've got so much to tell us.
And Milo is just done. He's like, I don't care anymore. Please stop.
But we need to get on to the other things. But I got one thing to ask you just real quick. Let's keep it real brief. How many?
I love it. Well, I was like, okay, like from now on, can we just keep it brief and like try to stay on the topic? You just went on a rant, told me your whole life fucking story, dude. Calm down, you know?
Voices did you do in that one thing you sent me?
Oh,
it was incredible. But
now I don't know what they're talking about here, but I am determined to find it, whatever it is. I will find it for us.
But just give me just a few minutes.
And if you have it, send it to me.
Okay, sure. Well, I do that in other situations as well, especially if it's a just the voice and you're not physically acting somewhere. And I've done it a lot during the COVID times because I've done some plays on Zoom and certain.
He did plays on Zoom. They had Zoom plays during COVID. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awful.
Situations, people will ask me to play more than one character, so I try to use different voices. But the thing that you're mentioning it for the most part is I did a version of A Christmas Carol, and I don't know the exact
This sounds fucking hilarious.
Number of voices. I've never actually counted, but I played in this. It's a voice thing. I mean, it's not a video or anything like that. And I played Scrooge, of course, and every other adult male character in A Christmas Carol is me. They all have English accents. They're all maybe just a little slightly different. All the voices are different. Some are very different. And yeah, so I played at least, the ghost, Cratchit, his nephew, I could go on and on. Every other male character is me. So
we have to find it. We have to.
Yes, I do that kind of thing.
It was incredible, John. It was incredible what you did. I heard all them voices and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. But back over to you, Julie.
Absolutely. You know what you are doing right now, really, really interesting. But then when Onpassive came, I believe your life is full of Onpassive. So we wanted to find out from you, John, when did you join? How did you hear about Onpassive? And what made you take the action to join Onpassive and being so active like you are?
Okay, but I want to mention real quick, though, that I didn't get to say before. I'm also a photographer, and I work as an artistic photographer more than a commercial photographer. But I have a friend that this is a project that I'm involved with for a while now, and I'm just going to show real quickly. You see, this is a Christmas card.
I literally just found it. I found it.
Not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good, and I say,
are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others.
Wait, where's the The accent.
When want is keenly felt, and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
He took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers and his nightcap, and sat before the fire to take his gruel. He sat.
All right, so it wasn't just him.
Why do you doubt your senses? Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You may be an undigested bit of
Is this what you call an accent?
beef, a blot of mustard.
Light flashed up in the room upon the instant. Hearts they broke. Ghost, and had become conscious that it
not changed towards you, am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when...
All right, there are no accents in this, but I'm going to save this, and then you guys let me know if you want to. Right at Christmas, I will put this together for us, and we can do a react to it. That might be fun for us to do. All right, so that's that.
And my friend, who is a painter, watercolorist, she makes these. She does watercolor. So this is a watercolor, but it's a picture. It's a photograph of my. It's the original photo was mine, and she then.
Oh, it was A Christmas Carol, but I did not hear any accents. He said that he had like UK accents going. I didn't hear accents.
Creates.
I heard different voices though.
As a watercolor, and this card she had done, it's her watercolor, but it's from a photo that I did. And we do that all the time. I've got many.
Did you hear that though? He goes, "It's her watercolor painting, but it's my photo that I did." It's like, dude, you just took a picture of her watercolor. Like, no offense, but anyone could do that. That's not. But cool, yeah.
But at any rate, it's a wonderful project. It shows that's another artistic side of something that I do all the time. So anyway, Onpassive. I have been in Onpassive. It'll be 3 years on March 1st, so very soon. Technically, I'm 3 years, and I was never into any type of internet marketing business at all. I vaguely knew what it is, what the different things are, which Onpassive is not like most of these. But at any rate, I had no inkling to even get involved until I was kind of an older actor, and I wasn't making as much money as I used to make, and I'm on Social Security, and I said, I got to have more residual income because those survival jobs are getting harder to do. I'm getting older, and I need to do something I can do from home. And I had a friend who's also an actor, and he used to tease me when we would work a job together or do a reading together of a play or whatever. He would say, "Hey, John," he says, "are you an actor?" And I mean, I'm much older than this.
I'm more surprised that he had a friend, to tell you the truth.
This guy, anyway, at the time, this was a while ago, I wasn't as old as I am. But anyway, I'm like, of course I'm an actor. Are you an actor? I know you're an actor, because he was someone that's very successful in commercials. Besides being an actor, he acts in commercials. And he works all the time. But when he doesn't work, his survival job is internet marketing. And he said, are you an actor or a waiter? And by that he meant, well, most actors think they're actors, but 85% of actors are almost always unemployed during the year. 85%. Okay, so he said, most of our friends, they're not actors, they're waiters, and that's what they do most of their life till they give it all up and go get a real job or something like that. Well, so I said, I'm not a waiter. I've been a waiter. I've been many things. I go and give him the same list I gave you. I did this, I did this, I do this, I do this. Okay. He said, would you mind if I sent you some information? I'm in the internet affiliate marketing business. I'm an entrepreneur, and I do very well.
Oh, Lord.
And I don't have to wait tables, and I don't even have to be an actor.
It's their fault.
If I don't want to, because I am completely successful at that. Would you mind if I sent you some information in emails? I said, oh, sure. His name is John Bones Rodriguez. He's in Onpassive. He's the person that sponsored me and got me involved. But
so it's his fault.
He began to send me emails for 10 years. I would glance at them, I might look a little bit, but again, I moved on. I'm going like, yeah. There's the internet. I have no idea what this is, but I kind of heard about it. All right. Well, at some point when I decided I need more money, I'm 76, I finally contacted Bones and said, hey, I'd like to look into some of this. Well, to get going real quickly, he all of a sudden got me into, at the start, 3 years ago, because it was only 3 years ago, 10 years, and then 3 years ago.
He never takes a damn breath.
He got me involved in multiple affiliate marketing businesses, MLMs. I spent thousands of dollars in the last 3 years. Amongst all those businesses from the very start was, besides about a dozen other things, it was Onpassive. And I didn't have a clue about any of them or any of how they worked. But here I was in all of these businesses.
And now you might be able to understand how John got wrapped up into this.
Trying to work them all and trying to figure it out. And oh, God, I'm spending money and I need to advertise. Oh, I got to get some solo ads. I kind of was learning, but I didn't really understand it. And I was one of the 3%. I'm sure you'll know, and I'm sure most of our fellow founders will know what I'm talking about in the other businesses out there on the internet. Most of them, 97% fail. Well, even 85% of actors, that's high, but
So now what he's doing, now this is irony to fuck, because you see, Onpassive is an MLM, and he is right. 97 plus, depending on what stats you're looking at, percent of people in these fail. Okay, it's more like 99% on average fail. So he's sitting here spitting that out, saying I was in a bunch of these, including this one, and all of these other ones failed, but this is going to be the one. Like all of those that get brainwashed into these culty scams end up thinking the one that they're in, that's the one. That's the one that's part of the 3 or less percent that, doesn't make it, as they would say. Hello, Takara. Good to see you. I hope you're having a fabulous, fabulous Friday night. We're talking about John today. Onpassive is the last one MLM standing. Yep.
97% of people in our situation fail. Okay. So I'm one of the 3%, not Mr. Rodriguez.
You are not one of the 3%. How have you been successful here? What money have you made with Onpassive? Tell me.
He's one of the 3%, 3 to 4% that's very successful, even to this day. Okay. So I decided at some point, though, and just not that long ago, maybe a year ago I thought, hey, this is ridiculous. How can you have success in these businesses when you can't even learn or keep track of one of them or two of them? You've got a dozen of them, and you're okay. So the one that I
do have to say, it was probably silly to sign up for a whole bunch at the same time. Like, do one first. Jeez.
Was always paying attention to, along with all these, was Onpassive. And I looked at it, and I don't know what it was exactly, but for some reason.
It's kind of funny to think that he was in a whole bunch of MLMs, and out of all of them, imagine him being in other ones that are more legit, right? That actually have products to sell. But he goes, no, I don't want to be in those ones. Onpassive is the one I want to do. Yeah, that one will be the easiest for me to learn because all I have to do is go to webinars. I mean, right?
I could understand what I was hearing, even though that was at a time when things were not that developed yet. And if you remember the way we've grown, it was right when things were beginning to grow. And even the Leadership Council, there were only those originals that you would know, you folks. But a lot of the folks like you, Julie, I didn't really know yet because I wasn't seeing you yet. But then all of a sudden, along the way, I paid attention and began to listen, and I know everybody now, of course. But
wow, John knows everybody. He's so popular, and he's had every single job in the whole world.
I dropped all of the other marketing businesses, all of them.
Oh my!
A year or so ago, because I knew the one that I've been focusing on mostly anyway, and the one that I'm really believing is something special and different and not MLMs and affiliate marketing. And you don't have to, it's all the stuff that Marty tells us about. I have that same experience, but not in 17 to how many years he was involved. And he had some success with his partners, Red, and, you know, anyway, but not me. And so I'm thinking, I got about the same story though, you know, spending lots of money. I can't bring people along with me, even if I start to have a little, so, well, I saw Onpassive, I'm thinking, like, you know what? They're saying that that's not what this is about. And let me really look at it. I studied it very closely. And then, and at some point, even before that, though, I become to get very active and involved. And so I would have to say, you know,
he has not stopped talking for longer than like 30 seconds since he's been up here.
It isn't because.
And that was only because Julie had to say something and Milo had to say something. What, like, he literally is just like, like, is he on something? Calm down, John. Even I'm like, holy crap, and I'm uppity.
Like I say, I knew nothing about any businesses, so I didn't even really know. I knew what Onpassive was saying it was going to do, and then I began to realize that it was something special and different, and that, you know.
Oh, it's special and different, all right.
We don't have to recruit and do the thing. I don't have to spend.
But you are going to have to recruit. That's the thing. What do you think you're doing when you're telling people to come and join? When you tell them to come check it out for themselves? When you tell people you're a part of this business and that they're going to be using it too? That's recruiting, John. It's exactly what you guys are doing. That's like all you're doing because you can't sell anything. So you're recruiting people, going to webinars, and then like posting things up on ONET if you wanna.
Thousands of dollars on advertising. All this made me very much interested. So it isn't I'm a little different, I think, than some folks because
they have spent thousands and thousands on advertising though, John. Like they did advertise in and on the Burj Khalifa. They bought a fucking metro station, for fuck's sakes. Bought their name for a whole year. What do you think that all is? You think you can tell me that they're not marketing?
Because it's not a passion.
They're just not marketing in the US, Canada, UK, Australia, or any other place that would see them and go, what a bunch of bull hooey.
Although at this point, I'm very much involved, and I love all the folks in Onpassive. I love what Onpassive is. I love and respect Mr. Ash Mufareh.
And I think that that's what it is for a lot of these people, is that for whatever reason they love and respect Ash, whatever, but it's mainly the sense of belonging and being a part of something, being a part of a group. That's what they crave, and that's what gets fed here. So if that's their biggest need, then it's easy for them to get sucked up in this freaking thing.
But like I said, I don't think I come from the same point, because now it's for me, it's something that is much more than a survival job. It's gonna be a good thing for humanity. And I mean, you know, I wasn't even aware of how much that was going to be part of what we are. And along the way, as I'm learning and seeing, I'm right there with that. And that's about it. So now the only business that I have, other than my artistic photography, acting, all the stuff I do, I'm never giving that up, anyway, I am a founder in Onpassive. I'm proud to be that, and I'm very excited and anxious for what Onpassive is going to do for the world and even the internet out there in general.
So you're excited for nothing then?
Correct.
And Milo tries to interrupt him again. He's back to rubbing his hands. Milo can't stand John, I feel like. He's like, this guy just talks too much. Just get to the point, damn it.
To the corruption and all that stuff that we believe in, and we really believe that that's what we are all about, and the things that we're going to have, the products that we have, and all of that. It's all for something positive and good for the world, not just going on the internet and doing what you. Well, yeah, great. We got great products for that, but even beyond that. So I'm very passionate about it.
I don't know. He's taking over your show. He's taking over, dude.
but maybe not as so much with a religious fervor.
Can't keep
But
up with him.
For me, who I am, as you can see, I do have a lot of energy, and I am Marina, one of our wonderful leadership council people, and I help her a lot, and I've been doing that for a while behind the scenes. I do a lot for Onpassive behind the scenes. And she actually called me one time. She said, John, you're very passionate about Onpassive, or you're a very loyal founder. And one of those reasons was because I was always popping up in her.
And yeah, that's Marina. That's Marina who came up when I was talking to Ash. Same one. Just keep that in mind. They used to talk wonderfully about her until she left, and then all of a sudden she was apparently the one trying to scam everybody. Why? Because she asked for a refund, I guess.
Spots trying to help her and whatever, you know that. But I'm everywhere. I go to all the.
I honestly think that there was a time when John had a crush on Marina. She's a very beautiful woman. She's not an ugly lady. And then obviously that didn't work out for him, so he might be a little bit upsetty spaghetti since she left. He hasn't really been the same since then, to tell you the truth.
Now, I was just on Marty right before we came on here to do this. He wasn't having a webinar, but it was his live every day. I do Chris, I do Marty, I do Red, lives every.
He gets around. Did you hear that? Not only was he after Marina, but he was after Chris and Marty's Johnson.
Day if I can make it. If I miss it, I watch their recording later on YouTube. I watch all the stuff on YouTube that I don't catch the meetings live or our webinars. I catch most of ours live, especially our founders only. But
I love how Julie too just kind of has the exact same expression this whole time. Just the same like smile just on her face just the whole time like a statue. And Milo's getting anxious as hell with John taking over the show and just going like this.
I'm on YouTube all the time just to learn and see all the time what's going on with Onpassive. So I love it. I think it's going to be my one and only business for the rest of my life.
He's tried to cut him off like 3 different times now.
Other than my artistic endeavor.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Shut up, John. That's what he really wants to say.
And we just have a couple minutes left, okay? And so I want to get this in real quick.
Yes, John, listen, okay? We only have a couple minutes left. All right, I want to be quick. Hint, John. Hint.
We talk about, what Onpassive was going to do for you, and that's great. And then you said about the humanity part. I think all of us connect with that somewhere down the line. It's not about us. It's about what we can do for others.
Jesus, John, calm down. You can see he's like right on the edge of his seat, ready to interrupt Milo at any second.
So give me just within we only got 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay, John, yes. Remember, only 2 minutes, John. 2 minutes.
So tell me what you're going to do with your money, your apples, and then tell me what you're going to do with
for those that don't know, they call money apples because they got in trouble by the FTC for doing illegal income claims. So to get around that now, they talk about what they're going to do with their apples because they think that that's a legal loophole. It's not, by the way, but it's cute. We let them think that. It's kind of funny.
For yourself.
Oh, then they don't like negative talking. So like mistakes with the stuff, they call it wrinkles, like fixing the mistakes. Like when they have login issues, they'll be like, oh, there's some wrinkles. We just got to smooth out the wrinkles. It's all that positive, toxic positivity shit.
And then what you're going to do for others. Real quick.
Okay. All right.
Quick, he said, John. Quick.
Yes. Well, mostly just quickly for myself. Like I said, from the beginning, I wasn't in anything that I was into, and even Onpassive. I've never had the mindset that I'm necessarily going to have so many apples. I don't know, I will, but I'm just saying, that enormous thought and wealth is all I care about is what am I going to do? I'm going to be able to do the things that I continue to do, like the acting and everything I told you about. And I'm going to be able to pay my bills, go where I want to go when I want to go there, visit my family when I want to visit them. And if it doesn't get and I want to get another motorcycle. I had a motorcycle for 26 years and I haven't had it for the last couple of years. And I haven't been able to get a new one. But anyway, things like that. I don't need big yachts or car, but I would like to
he's
say,
a biker?
along the way,
He just, every time he talks, he adds something new to the resume, huh? Now he's also a biker.
Started to realize, but we can do things for other people. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. One of the things that I'm interested in is the same thing as Chris Johnson, the homeless problem. And even though I'm not in Michigan and I'm not an angel with him, I may even try to help that area. But I want to try to do something like that here in New York City, but also individually with people that I see out in the streets every day. And I'm always going in my pocket, even though I'm a poor guy, with my change or $1 here, $1 there. I have some lovely experiences with people who aren't con men and con ladies. They're out there. They're people that have trouble and they're out in the street or whatever. And I want to do maybe something a little more organized, but also, like I said, Marina mentioned that anybody that wants to be involved with helping missionaries in South Africa, I don't know the exact title of what she's talking about, but I saw that and I thought, well, there's something too. Besides Chris's project, Marina's, I think I'll be getting involved in situations like that aren't even close to my home or anything, because we are going to help humanity and we are going to be out there and try to correct some terrible things that a lot of people go through in every country that you can imagine. And, all those things that we know people suffer from.
John, he said, be quick. Yeah, Ash did say that. He said, we're going to make so much money, we'll be giving it away. That's actually a direct quote. I like how you also even did the extra O's to add the emphasis, because he was so much money. Well, yep, no, that's direct quote.
I think I'm going to just keep getting involved with the people that are starting these situations. I may do something that I start something on my own, but for sure, Chris, Marina, and whatever else I hear, I'm going to get involved to help humanity, because that's what I'm.
And now he's also a humanity helper.
That's what it's all about. And if I start to get a lot of apples, I want to use it and help people all around the world, not just myself. So.
Absolutely, John. Thank you so much for being here with us. Your story, your inspirations, your passions really exude here. And we do hope that you will stay healthy and stay strong. There you have it, everyone, is John Barilla. He's now in New York, and we do hope that you really enjoy it. And if you haven't been in Onpassive, you must get back to some people, the people that actually share Onpassive with you, because you will have the energy, you will have the passion that John is sharing with us here. And, Milo and I have.
I don't know if anyone wants the passion that John has. He seems a little too passionate. Don't you think, Julie? Maybe you should calm down a little bit.
Been in Onpassive for over 3 years, and we are excited. It's a beautiful journey. So if you haven't been in.
And then he said, until there's no one left to give it to, then we'll just have to start burning it or something. Yeah. Yeah. He talked a big talk about that, didn't he? I guess he just decided to go ahead and start burning it and using it on his own personal stuff and taking his wife to the salon and spa.
And get back with the person who invited you to check out Onpassive.
See, and that's why I say it sounds like they're getting signed up under the person. Because this is what I don't understand about it. They say that the people that join are going to be put under people in an order. So if you were the first one to become an oat founder, you get the first recruit that they get goes under you. If you're the second one, then you get the second. You know what I mean? And that's how it was supposed to go, which made no sense to me. Because they also always say, get a hold of the person that invited you, as if to say that they don't want to steal each other's distributors. Because the one that you choose, the one you pitch to and bring to the webinars is going to go underneath you. And then, like I said, other times they'll be like, no, everyone's going to be equal and it's going to be done in the order that people signed up and blah, blah, blah. And this is why, even though they're talking a lot about this commission, until it's written in writing, I still do not know what the fuck they're doing with it. Because even just saying oh, they'll get this percentage, it'll be $125 a month and they'll be making 25%. Ash has allegedly said this a bunch, right, guys? And it's yeah, that would be what it would be. But at the same time, he's not really explaining in that how people joining and being recruited are going to be added onto your team and how all of that's going to work. And that would only be one level. So do you only make the 25% commission on your own sales? Well, do you make a commission off those under you? Like, that's not yet been explained. So that's why I keep saying, like, it's still so much up in the fucking air. We have no clue. We have no clue. None. None. And Julie's all like, oh, yeah, make sure you get back to that person that invited you. And it's like, but what would it matter if they're going to sign up and then be placed under someone else, for fuck's sakes? Julie.
And also, if you haven't subscribed to the Julie and Milo show, we appreciate you.
Don't subscribe now. It's over. They rip. Again, rip in the chat for the Julie and Milo
you need
show.
to subscribe and click the bell to get the notification, because you know what? Mr. Ash Mufarad has already accepted our invitation for an interview with him via Zoom or also in person as well. So we do hope.
Oh my God, they're going to interview Ash. That's the CEO. Oh, they must be so famous.
That you plug in, subscribe to our channel, and watch out for that interview coming up.
Seriously, watch out for it. It'll be awful. It will make you want to cry. Literally, watch out for it. If it starts coming at you, run.
Thank you so much, John, for being here with us. Thank you so much, all the viewers and all the subscribers that subscribe to the Julie and Milo show. We are grateful for you. And thank you so much. From Orange County, California, my name is Julie Nguyen. Thank you.
And from New York City, my name.
Did you see that? He was about to go too, but he just could not. He had to have the last word here.
My name is John Barilla. Bye-bye.
From Nashville.
Listen to the stories and how they
Yeah. Woo. I won't make you guys listen to it again. I already made you guys listen to it once, and I'm about to torture you with another song in the outro. I'm a bitch like that. So that is pretty much everything on John Barilla that there is in terms of John Barilla. He's made a couple other appearances on some longer like live streams, and I just did not have the time to sift through those. Excuse me. So if you see any behavior of John's that you would like me to cover, feel free to clip it and send it to me, and I would be happy to grab that, or, get a timestamp and tell me, hey, Queen, you missed in this video, this webinar, when he came on and acted a fool, and I'll be happy to react to that as well and talk about that. But this is pretty much the main stuff that I could find and the most important right now that I felt like I should show you. Rip to the Julie and Milo show, as it's no longer a thing. My name is Queen of Karma, and I'm a hating bimbo of Onpassive. You can even ask them about me. Tell them that Sally Spade says hi. But for those that, again, I'm just going to put it out there. The S.E.C, I won't call it the SEC. They get very mad at me when I do that now. The S.E.C is suing Ash Mufarad and Onpassive and his wife, technically, since he had to put the company in her name because his credit is shot from already having a pyramid scheme shut down. And from being in two other ones, just saying, and his wife are all being sued for $108 million. And in the fact section of the S.E.C's lawsuit complaint, they actually said it is a fact that Onpassive is a pyramid scheme. So I feel that now gives me the go-ahead to call them a pyramid scheme, because when the Securities and Exchange Commission calls you a pyramid scheme, bitch, you a pyramid scheme, okay? You can call yourself whatever you want, but they know what they talking about. And John has been extremely cruel to me and a lot of the people that I really do love and enjoy in my community who come when I'm talking about Onpassive, especially in my comment section recently. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go find out all about John Barilla. And I feel like we've done a decent job of that today. We spent just over 3 hours and 10 minutes going through him. It sounds like he had an interesting life. John Barilla has been a pigeon trainer, a model airport keeper, an artist, a photographer, a stage actor, a voice actor, a normal actor, a waiter, a card creator, a YouTuber, a cab driver, a limo driver, a biker, and a humanity helper. among other things. I'm sure that I missed a couple. So if I missed some and you remember some that I just missed that I listed off there, leave it down below. And no matter where you guys are, what you're doing, I hope that you have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your evening. Excuse me. I've been talking for so much. My throat's now getting dry. Even when I have a drink, it's not very fun. But I am going to probably not be on much throughout the weekend. I think I'm going to be spending time with family this weekend. I have some plans. But next week, I have a couple of deep dives coming out, and I'm thinking about doing a Primerica live, and I have a live about stories from the internet, which I for a moment thought was today, but it's actually next week. Thank God, because I was not ready for it. Um, so that's next week, and there's a lot coming out, and I'm still going to be paying attention to Onpassive, and we'll let you know any updates that happen with the S.E.C. and all of that stuff. And yeah, I think to hear us off, we're going to play the Onpassive theme song, always a favorite over here. I love all of you, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Probably Monday. It will be Monday. I'll see you Monday. Mwah. Bye. But fuck you, John. Stay out of my comment section or else unblock me so that I can respond. You don't go after the people in my comment section. You go after me. I can take you. I don't need help.